I'm really glad none of you showed obscenities at me right before we go live.
We can.
I hope
we can. If you want, we can.
So bad.
I can certainly do that.
We are going to lose our minds here very quick.
Yeah. So, speaking of losing our minds, some announcements before we begin. I don't know how that makes any sense.
Welcome to our world.
Welcome to my world.
Do your segues ever.
I talk to myself all the time. So, hello everybody. It's episode 69 tonight.
Yeah!
Nice.
Everyone who dabs gets a D20
I swear
DM
we're
inspiration.
adults.
I get a DM.
Is that for real?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Or else I'd be getting some D20 inspirations. So some announcements before we begin. Again, yeah, episode 69. Nice. We are still raising money for the Trevor Project. We are doing so until August 12th. And then we'll be starting another charity in September. The link for that charity, for the Trevor Project, will be posted through the chat sporadically. The Trevor Project, they are a charity that help LGBTQ people under the age of 25 that are in crisis. So they do a lot of good stuff for that community. And it's a very good charity to support right now, of course, based on everything that's happening to that community and the trans community in the United States right now. What else? Yes, we also have a podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. That's the same thing. There's no such thing as iTunes anymore. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. Then mix some Monstrosities. Last week's episodes will be going up tomorrow because I will not be here Friday. And speaking of Friday, we're not being here. Next Sunday, this coming Sunday rather, the 2nd, we will not be streaming Soldiers of the Lich Queen, unfortunately, but we will be running something in the meantime. We pre-recorded a one-shot of Dread on Friday and Monday. So part 1 of that one-shot will be going live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in lieu of Soldiers of the Lich Queen. So come watch me, Sam, Kirkland, and Rose get really scared and see if we survive the night at the Black Forest Inn in Big Bear, California?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. So come watch. Lindsay is a wonderful GM, and it was probably like just the most fun I've had in a very long time. So we were all just clamoring for more at the end of it. So come watch. You can tell it's so much fun. I just can't say enough good stuff about it. Lindsay, if you're out there, you are amazing. Keep it up. Also, that week of the 2nd, we will not be having any games on the 5th or the 6th. That's Wednesday and Thursday, as I will still be out of town due to some last-minute changes that were against my control, unfortunately. And then the 9th of August, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, there will not be Soldiers of the Lich Queen. We'll be streaming part 2 of Dread. So come watch us get scared and whatnot. Again, a lot of fun. Hopefully you can see how much fun we had. You will. It was awesome. And then we should be back to regular streaming on the 12th and 13th. And then unfortunately, I am also gone on the 16th for, again, another last-minute schedule change I have no power over that I found out about yesterday. So that, no games on the 16th. Maybe we'll try to figure out something for the 1 p.m. slot on the Sunday, because I'll be back during that week, so maybe we can record something else during that week. Who knows? And then the 16th of August, we were supposed to premiere our first episode of Call of Cthulhu, but since I will not be here, our first episode of Call of Cthulhu is being pushed to the 23rd of August at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So come check that out, Call of Cthulhu, The Nightmare Society. Yes. So, without further ado, last we all left off, you all decided to go make Ogden Boone feel more comfortable and hunt down Thalrand's brother, known as Valkyris. Valkyrin. I can't remember his name. Holy shit. It's been a while. To go hunt down his brother and basically kill him to protect Marion Boone. While you were all planning, a little prankster Boggle was attempting pranks on Henry, and Henry blasted the thing into oblivion. Ending that plot thread that was basically going to be a haunted house in the Rose Court, but that's the fun of D&D. Eventually you all left to go to the Felscar Forest to hunt down Valteragine. Thalran's brother, and put an end to the end of the recap. So, after fighting a Bodak and a Lonely, you guys proceeded forward. Ended up in a strange pyramid-esque scenario. Went into the pyramid, found a bunch of treasure and acid. Mummies. Fought the mummies. Long story short, started digging in the sand. And as you were digging in the sand, people started disappearing. Because Ash, who had buried himself in the sand, because he's possessed by a little child, disappeared. Long story short, a number of the party disappeared through this sand. So now, Ogden, Eclipse, Baxter, and Ash have been claimed by these sands, while the remainder of the party remained in the desert. The people that did get claimed by the sands were approached by the figure they were looking for, Valkaris Valteragine, who approached the cell that they're inside of and said, "Welcome home." And that's where we're going to pick up immediately, with Valkaris peering through the cell, arms behind the back, just peering in. Skeleton's still digging. He's just like, "Oh, I already have skeletons in my collection." And he just waves his hand. I need all the skeletons and the little boy that's inside Ash to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh no!
Doesn't know there's a little ghost inside of Ash.
Okay. So the how many five skeletons?
Five
Yeah.
skeletons.
Do you have up what their wisdom save is?
Give me 1 sec. I'm pulling theirs up, and I'm pulling up the skeletons, or the ghost as well. Okay. Skeletons have a wisdom of -1.
Perfect. All right. Skeletons. Number 1, 12.
Just burst into dust.
Number 2, 11.
Burst into dust.
Number 3, 11.
Burst
Turns into
dust.
rainbows?
Dust.
Number 4, 11.
Dust.
And number 5, 10.
Oh
Dust.
no!
And Ash.
Wow!
You're sitting there on the ground being a little kid, kind of scared, and out of nowhere, you feel fine. Turn on dead, destroy the dead, destroys the ghost too.
Oh, it destroys up to CR4. That is
Yeah.
oof.
So the ghost is gone too.
That means to save you probably would have had to roll a nat 20 for all of them.
And he just peers through the gates. That's better. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Baxter starts dumping the sand from his flask and cursing.
Apologies for the entrance. I didn't want I didn't expect my welcome guest to enter this way. And he waves his hand, and the bars of the cell disappear, and you're all free to just step out.
Quick
I
question.
tentatively stick my hand out where the bars were.
Yeah, you don't feel anything. Yes, what's the question?
Where am I?
Good question. You are in the Shadowfell, specifically the Twilight Mausoleum. Yes, Mr.
I
Good
Boone.
question.
Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Boone.
I
Eclipse.
yeah, I'm
Yes. What would you all like
sorry,
to know?
who is he?
Yeah, that
What?
was my question.
Who's who?
That guy?
This
Oh,
guy.
Apologies. He waves his hand again. You all gain memories back of the people you forgot. He cast Greater Restoration.
What do you mean, who am I?
Can I remember that I didn't remember?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how spells are.
Sorry, the Shadowfell is a little tricky, and the sands are a little tricky as well. Mr. Boone, Miss Woodlouse Clove, Mr. Ornstein, Von Huxley, Mr. Monsoza, yes.
Baxter says under his breath, Baxter Ornstein von Huxenforth.
Well, I know why you're all here.
And why is that?
You
I don't.
You want to kill me to protect your mother. I can assure you I mean no harm to Miss Marion Boone.
Told you, Ogden.
Yes, what is it?
Oh, pardon me. We are also in, if I am remembering correctly, there was a sort of item, right? And he just kind of looks at everybody.
Oh yes,
Right.
I believe you want my ring, and he holds it up.
Yes.
It's-
That sounds reasonable.
It's the ring you're looking for, Calamitous.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Well, you are my honored guest, so follow me if you will. I will be arranging for the pickup of your other friends shortly. Follow me, please. And he spins around on the spot, puts his arms behind his back, and just strolls out the door of this little room.
Would someone mind filling me in on why I was standing on a boat 5 minutes ago and now I'm in some dude's basement?
I don't know. You start acting.
Where-
You acted real goofy.
Where
Yeah,
did
different-
Wilf go?
Who's Wilf?
Actually, based on what I have experienced in the past, it appears as though that person had cast some type of destruction of undead. Me being from a town of undead and city, you might say.
It actually
Of
wasn't
undead.
a spell.
Well, it's an ability.
Prospected.
It's an ability of sorts. Thank you for correcting me. Yes. Therefore, the Ash and the being that most likely possessed him are currently destroyed. Not Ash,
Oh.
honestly, but
Possessed?
I destroyed something aside from the skeletons.
Yeah, remember those kids that we had with us from Silga before you were possessed the first time?
Yeah, we were talking to the ghosts, and then that's the last thing I
Yeah.
remember, and then we were here.
Yeah. Well, you were possessed by one of them.
What,
well,
again?
Specifically. Yeah. And then we decided to take you with us to the Shadow Realm so that we could meet
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell. Thank you. Apologies.
Thank you,
so that we-
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Guy likes to keep us honest over here.
Yeah. And now we're in the Shadowfell. And also you got buried by sand, and that's how you got here.
Right, okay, at some point I'll ask for more details, but I suppose we should just... I'll table that for now.
If you'd follow me, please, we have lots to discuss.
You seem to be enthusiastic as you buried yourself. Oh, lead the way.
I buried myself.
And
I feel like that was Wilf.
he leads you out of this prison, and you can hear what sounds like organ music, and you can hear people dancing and like just shouting and just happy sounds. And a big door on the left, you can see what looks like into a huge ballroom, and there's a bunch of people in like masquerade outfits and masks just dancing with each other. And he's like, "Ah, yes, that's just the party that I throw here once a month. Come with me up the stairs," and he leads you up towards the spiral staircase and starts walking up.
Baxter doesn't want to leave this area. It calls back to the very night when all of this, his whole thing happened. The people ballroom dancing, the type of music that's playing.
Well, feel free to stick with them. They, you can sense that you're kind of halting a little bit. Just don't get close to them. You don't have any open wounds, do you?
What does... He looks... let's see. Is he missing any hit points? He is not.
Well, don't get close to them. They like the taste of blood. And he starts going up the staircase.
That reminds me, I was looking at the D&D Beyond tracker. I did not realize that Baxter has the most health in the party.
What? He does?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ash only has
Does
105 and Baxter's got
I mean,
107.
I knew he rolled well on hit points, but that well?
Either
Yeesh.
way, up the staircase. Are you all coming, or would you like to stay with the vampires?
Oh no,
Uh,
alright, oh, right behind you.
I'm gonna look to Baxter, see if I can get him to follow us with a look. Just like, come
What's
on.
Baxter seeing? I mean, imagine he sees like a bunch of people dancing. It's looking
Yeah, they're dancing.
quite a regal time.
Yeah. It's a masquerade ball. That's what you see.
Does he see catering,
No.
like with alcohol or anything?
No,
No.
they want blood.
Again, I'm just going off of. I'm just going off of what. Baxter might think. So if he does not see any of those things, he is slightly less enticed, but nonetheless is nostalgic and returns with everyone.
Valkyris starts leading you up this spiral staircase. You can see painted on the walls. There's pictures of him in like different poses, like knee up on like a velvet stool holding a glass of wine. Other images, one with him and Thalran as kids, kind of arm in arm. Just multiple portraits of himself.
Oh, that's
Very
the best.
ostentatious portraits, and the portraits are life-size, so they're big. And he leads you up the spiral staircase, about 900 feet up the spiral staircase.
Is there one with duck lips? Like,
There is
he,
not.
he Sauron just...
No. And he leads you up to the set of doors. He opens it up, and he gestures for you all to step inside. You can see it's a little, like, kind of study area, like an office. There's a huge 30-foot tall stained glass window that's just, again, a visage of himself, hands on the hips, kind of just looking up towards the sky. A big ornate desk with a bunch of, like, vials and... not vials, but, like, bottles on it of alcohol and other things, like wines. He's like, please, find a seat, make yourself comfortable, unless you'd rather stand. And he steps in, gestures for you all to follow.
I'm gonna stay standing.
Sure.
I'll enter.
Ogden Boone will also remain standing.
Okay.
Baxter follows the whatever this guy's saying.
Okay. There's a
He'll-
huge...
if he, sorry,
There's
did he say to have a seat?
or stand, whatever you prefer.
He'll sit.
There's a huge, like, velvet couch near a fireplace that's crackling, just green flames, though, just... And he's like, should I... Are any of you would like a glass of wine? Wonderful. He pours
Baxter
Baxter... He pours Baxter a glass of wine and waves his hand, and the wine glass just floats over to Baxter.
Am I correct to assume that you're at least partially omniscient, as you knew our names upon our arrival and seemed to
Well,
prophesy our arrival?
this is my domain, so I have eyes everywhere. Plus, I've been keeping an eye on all of you for quite some time now, so...
So you know of our current search for various artifacts to
I
defeat...
do, of course, yes. I know a lot about each of you.
Well, we don't have to spill all the juicy details now, but...
No, secrets are very good to keep. On both sides. So... How are you all?
I'm feeling great. This is unexpected. I sunk beneath the sand and I'm being treated to wondrous atmosphere of ballroom dancing, music, and now wine.
Yes, this is like a massive, like, palace made out of, like, black diamond. It just gleams, the walls gleam, and the floors are also the same material, and just a bunch of, like, kind of gothic-looking decorations and stuff. Yeah, like, big old, like, candelabras, and there's a chandelier hanging from the ceiling, but the chandelier is all skulls with, like, candles kind of implanted in the top of the skulls. The big stained glass window is just him, yeah, standing bare-chested on a stool.
On a stool?
Yeah.
Like he's getting fitted for a suit,
Yeah.
but then they
Yeah.
said, stop, this is
Yeah,
perfect.
Exactly. So,
Is it 1 foot up in the Captain Morgan pose, or is it
yeah,
like he
it's
both
one,
feet up?
one
on the
foot up, 1 foot up.
Oh, okay. That's like both feet on the stool because he's taller.
So, yeah, he's got. So now you're like
Getting-
up close with him. He has like pure, like, white, almost translucent skin, crescent moon shaped ears like Thalran did. Long, flowing, silvery white hair that cascades down to his shoulders, almost violet-colored red eyes, kind of pale lips, kind of like a pink hue to them, noticeable canines, a little bit, a ring on his ring finger that's dripping, but it's not getting on his skin or anything. He's wearing like this velvet black doublet, velvet pants, velvet knee-high boots. There is a weapon strapped to his side. It is a dagger. Really ornate looking, very cool looking dagger. It's like purple, the blade's purple, the hilt's purple, and the pommel is like a green sort of emerald that's shaped like a crown. And he's like, so...
What is
Welcome all to the Twilight Mausoleum. Where did you say? Oh, your friends. That's right. One moment.
Yes.
And he snaps
out by the
he
pyramid?
snaps his finger, and the others appear in this room. Just
All right, so we're going to have to start a search party to find them. Ah!
so Noose, Henry, and Leah appear in this room. Just
Ugh.
Are we still flying?
oh, yeah, you're floating in the air a little bit.
Okay.
Dang it, Henry! I knew killing that thing would be bad luck.
Hello,
What thing?
hello, everyone. My name is Valkyris Valteragian. How are you all? Could I interest
I'm
in
confused.
Would you like a drink? I have lots of wine.
Noose is absorbing everything and trying to peg everyone, make sure no one's missing.
No one's missing.
Yeah.
Leah sees the pretty green fire and she's just kind of going flying near it and just sits down in front of it, just like, ooh.
Be careful around that fire. It transports you to other areas of this domain. Diagonally. So, which of you is more interested in wielding this ring? You have to be deemed appropriate by Atropos himself, so
What does it do?
what doesn't it do?
Oh, I mean, what doesn't it not do?
Turn you into a unicorn?
Alright, well, now I have as much context as you gave.
Wait,
Oh.
it doesn't not turn you into a unicorn.
Yeah.
Don't
So it turns
worry.
you into a unicorn?
It does not. Don't worry. I lied. Don't worry, Mr. Lofferton, Noose, and Miss Greenwood. Everything will be explained soon.
I'll be honest, I'm a little more interested in that dagger at your side.
Oh, no, that is not for yours to take. That is
Figured.
mine. It would drive you mad if you wielded it.
I've felt worse.
I've seen.
Been through worse.
So, the ring. While wearing this ring, you can see in the dark quite far. Cold. You'll feel slight resistance to it. Same with necrosis. You will also be immune to being scared, but also immune to exhaustion. Again,
Whoa.
as with all the artifacts
So-
you're seeking, they need to be powered to get their full benefits. Without its full benefits, though, you are well more adapted at resisting magical effects. Your weapons will have a bit of necrosis to them, and you can cast a couple of spells at will, such as Levitate, Ray of Enfeeblement, and Vampiric Touch. The powered state is a secret for you to find out at a later date once you've powered it.
And how would we do that exactly?
By whatever task the deity tied to the artifact asks you to complete. And I see you have one of the artifacts already, and it too is yet to be powered. And he points to Leah's staff.
Leah's just like holding it, just like, yeah, we were gonna do that, but there was a lot going on in hell at the time.
I know, I saw all of what was happening. I've been keeping an eye on each of you very closely for quite some time now.
But
How
you
long
only
would
have
that-
2 eyes.
Right. Right. He kind of rolls his eyes a little bit. Sorry, Miss Woodlouse Clove. What was your question?
How long has that been? Exactly how long have you been watching us?
Oh boy, let's see. For some of you, it's been longer than others. It gets a little tricky. But in total, for all of you, it's about 2 years total as a group together.
So you seen us kill your bro?
Yes, that was quite fun to watch, actually. He was a dick.
I would agree. He besmirched our dear lovely Marion Boone.
Yes, Miss Marion is quite the lovely sort, and I would very much like her to stay alive, of course. I have no intentions of harming her, Mr. Boone. I quite like that she is living in my brother's home currently. One last big fuck you to him. It's wonderful.
Insight check.
You can certainly try.
So my insight is very high,
That's great.
I believe. 27.
27. Alright.
One short of a nat 20.
Let me check something out here.
I rolled a
Alright.
19 plus 8.
You can't read him at all,
Oh,
but you
man.
get the sense he's being honest.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper that to Ogden. I think we can trust him.
And he's like, so, do you have any questions for me before we start any sort of relationship, so to speak? Partnership?
What's the catch?
What's the catch? There actually isn't a catch, actually.
What's-
I'm very interested in seeing Asmodeus taken care of, so to speak. So I can...
Fill the vacuum in power?
Well, no, I have no interest in ruling the Nine Hells. Tiamat does. I'm more interested in just my friends staying safe on the material plane, because if they go poof, I lose my powers.
And what friends are they?
Well, it's very tricky to explain.
Is News picking up on something right now?
Insight check.
Okay.
You picking up what I'm putting down? Wink, wink.
Oh, fuck yes. News rolled a nat 20. 29 total.
Alright.
It looks very sad.
No. My heart's racing. I'm getting really, nervous.
With a natural 19 and a natural 20 insight.
Yeah, your insight was not enough.
I know. It's like a 30.
He starts rolling up his sleeves, and you see he has sleeve tattoos all down his arms, and they're just screaming faces. So, my friends remain in the material plane, and their worship gives me my power. And I would very much like to keep it, so Asmodeus being dealt with and not destroying the material plane is quite good for me. That said, I will give you the ring, and I can power it myself as Atropus's last champion. There is something I seek in the material plane that I cannot access.
And what would that be?
It lies on the continent of Anundial. In the crypt, or the tomb rather, of the three heroes. It is a sphere of black marble, and I would like to be reunited with this item.
Apologies. I dispelled magic upon that.
Oh, that
Item.
was not the sphere I'm speaking of.
Oh,
This lies on the continent of Anundial, not Esselvire.
Just. I also I want to be clear. I did you say spear as in stick
Spear.
with point? Thank you.
Ball.
Got it. I get it now. Hmm.
And he just stands there. And so, I think that could be a mutual agreement, correct?
yeah, let's do it.
Seems fair enough. A favor for a
Wonderful.
favor.
He kind of just smiles a little bit, showing off those canine teeth. Oh,
I smile back, showing off mine.
those are nice. But
Nathan is just like all canines.
if we are to get into this mutual trusting partnership, I can answer one question truthfully from each of you. Fae, as a Fae, I can't exactly... Well, I'm bound to certain things, so I can answer one question truthfully from each of you, and since I am Fae, I am bound by promise. I promise to answer whatever question each of you have truthfully. And he looks at Noose first.
Noose kind of gives him a look and goes, "What's your favorite color?"
Purple.
I thought so.
And he looks at Henry next. Any questions for me, Mr. Lawferton? I have to answer truthfully. And I have seen so many things.
What sort of defenses can we expect in the tomb?
Spirits of the heroes and all of those who died during the Battle of Anundil that were sealed under the city when they built the new one on top. To prevent grave robbing, essentially, and most likely traps of all sorts. Unfortunately, the reason I cannot access the place is it is protected against Fae, celestial fiends, and undead, minus the spirits that are already inside of it.
Alright. Well, thank you for your honesty.
He turns to Ogden Boone. And you, Mr. Boone, any questions for me? Well, any question for me? Anything at all.
Do you know of a way
Of a way.
to slow time?
Of course I do.
Great.
I have so much abilities that can bend time. Just so you all know, every day you spend in the Feywild currently is a month in the material plane. Thought I'd fill you in on that little tidbit.
That was my secondary question, but
You only get one.
I know. I know where I
But
live.
yes, I have multiple ways to control time. And he points to a bottle of wine, waves his hand, and he ages the bottle of wine to dust.
Kind of thought you'd go the other way with that one.
Oh, I can do all sorts of things with time. Miss Woodlow's clove. Any questions for me?
You tell me why my mother was targeted by Velakesh the Sly?
To weaken your family. To make your father desperate.
Guess that was my one question. Not the answer I was looking for, but an answer nonetheless.
Miss Greenwood.
Leah just like turns back towards him after from looking at the fire. She just kind of like cocks her head and she's like, "Is Lexi's spirit at peace?"
No. None of the Spore Druid spirits are at peace. Mr. Montsosa.
Noose. Sorry. Noose looks at Leia and is just like, "I'm sorry."
With my current resources available to me, I would like you to describe to me a means of reaching and returning back from the Morning Shore.
Good fucking question. The Morning Shores is only permitted by the dead, so you will have to be temporarily deceased to get there. There are other means to get there, such as riding aboard the ship of Bulgar Stonebeard, or A powerful entity such as myself can send you there, and when the time is ready can pull you out from there. Be warned, death in the Morning Shores is permanent. There are things in the Morning Shores to be wary of. Gateways that you do not want to pass through. And as living entities, things will try to draw you into those gateways.
All right.
Mr. Ornstein von Huxley IV.
Thank you, Ash. You asked the question that I would have asked. That gives me a lot of room to ask another question. Can I take a bottle or two of these with me when I go? They're quite good.
Of course.
2?
Of course.
Yes. All right. Nailed it. Let's go.
Baxter's got his priorities set.
And Valkyrius looks at Ogden. And everything you read in the book about me was true. I did lure mortals here to their death out of entertainment. But I didn't kill them outright. I wanted to see what they could get up to. I thought it funny at times, sometimes, and sometimes it's fun to see what kind of shenanigans I can lure the people who are faithful to me into. But since we're all being honest with each other, I have a few more secrets to share with you all free of charge. Noose.
Hey, buddy.
There is a group here that I have pulled into the Shadowfell for you to take care of. A catalyst of iron
Ooh.
are in the Shadowfell, at least in this domain currently. Mr. Boone, your father is alive and quite well. He is doing well in the blood pit, or in the Brigade of Blood.
Yeah. I wouldn't bet against him.
And your sister is safe as well. Mr. Monsosa,
Yes.
the friend you seek in the Morning Shores is not entirely lost. There is still hope to save him.
Good to know.
Henry,
Yes.
your parents have been taken hostage by the Bellwinds,
If I didn't know that already, I certainly suspected it.
and they are on the open ocean, seeking your ship.
Oh dear. Well, they're not going to find it, are they?
Mr. Ornstein, von Huxley IV, your brother is alive, but not in a way you'd expect.
No. Yes. Quite strange. I heard that he was in the island of morning.
The Morning Shores,
Shores.
he is and
yes.
isn't.
Ah.
You could say he's around, and he kind of just gestures around. Miss Woodlouse Clove.
Yes.
There are ways to bring the dead back should you so choose. Miss Greenwood, the path you follow for your deity is a dangerous one, and I warn you caution. Noose. I think I already told you one. So,
I'll take another one, bud.
that's all from me.
Oh.
And just as a last minute sort of gesture of good faith, waves his hand around, I will slow the time dilation in the Feywild for you all now. One day here will be a minute in the material plane.
How many days have we been here already?
Well, it's currently...
Day 3?
It is currently in the material plane. It is currently Ziln. So about 2 months have passed since you all have left for the Feywild. The new year has started. It is 33 AT currently in the material plane. So, find this sphere, and the ring will power itself to whoever wants it right now.
Who doesn't mind getting wet?
Oh, you actually don't feel the fluid on the ring, it's just an effect.
Well, if no one else wants it, I'll take it.
Well, hang on. I think we need to be strategic about these, because if I remember correctly, one of these is a dagger.
You do need to be strategic about them. Each of you will benefit to one of these greater than others. Bahamut's Bane is a dagger, Calamitous is a ring, there is the Mantle of the Morning Shores, which is a cape. It's almost as if each of these artifacts has been chosen for a specific person. Destiny and all that nonsense, but who believes in destiny?
Would you be willing to tell us who each one is meant for? If you happen to know.
He smiles and goes, of course. The Mantle of Mourning is a bloodline relation, and he looks at Ash. It was once meant for Vernon Montsosa, who has been dealt with. Good fight. I enjoyed watching that one.
Always glad to have an audience.
The Crown of the Spider Queen doesn't actually have a chosen person. That is Lolth's artifact. Runuman, well, he points to Leah, is already acquired. It still needs to be powered, though.
She just like smiling, holding the staff like she did a good job.
Bahamut's Bane, a dagger. Well, we all know who would do well with that, wouldn't we? That leaves Calamitous, who is meant for someone versed in darkness and madness, and things born from death. But anyone can wield these artifacts.
Well, we
I
certainly
looked at
know.
Baxter.
We certainly know who is the most saturated.
I'm pickled.
You're a briny boy.
And
I'm brunny.
don't worry. If someone happens to die in possession of one of these artifacts and they cannot be restored, the artifact can be usable by anyone else.
But does it require death to be transferred?
Or willingly given up, like I am doing now.
No. Did you say Calamitous was... What was that?
It's a ring.
Oh, it's what he's got.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of thought so, but I wanted to make sure.
There's one in this group that I trust more than the others. And he
News is smiling.
and he slips
Noose, it's probably Noose.
and he slips the ring off and tosses it at Noose.
Hey, buddy.
You know, that's probably a better choice than me.
He's catches
hindsight.
it, It makes its way perfectly into a piercing he already has in his belly button.
So,
That's one way to save a
Or-
compartment slot.
Or it squeaks onto his Audi.
so
Ugh.
I
did get
can
that pretty stiff pot
so,
belly from Marion.
I can send you anywhere you wish in the cosmos, as well as here in the Shadowfell. If Noose, you do want to destroy the Catalyst of Iron, like you are so intrigued on the material plane, I
Yeah.
can send you all anywhere. I can even send things that are in the objects in the Feywild elsewhere, like your ship, Mr. Boone. And your lovely assortment of crew you have gathered.
Yes, they are quite entertaining.
Justin, I wanted to make sure, sorry, out of character. You said that the Catalysts of Iron were currently in the Feywild.
Yeah, in this domain, this chunk of the Shadowfell that's in the Feywild. Yeah, he said he pulled them in there.
Okay, so yeah, Deuce definitely has a priority there. Yeah, I mean, if we've got a day, how's everybody doing?
Oh, you have all the time in the world. I've changed. Days here are now minutes.
Mom. Maybe we should take care of that before we head out.
Go ahead, Ogden.
Well, we do have a captain of time management, and we also have just learned some important business for Ash. I know you have a friend you're trying to help.
I do. But if days are minutes, then I think we also have time to do something that would be beneficial to Noose.
What?
Tie up that loose end.
Yeah, it would be really nice. There's some things I gotta ask them while I tear their guts out.
Well, Captain of Time Management, are you ready to risk it for that biscuit?
Risk a what, Ogden?
Why is she acting so dumb?
Oh, right. She got bumped on the noggin by some sort of mimic curse.
Oh, right. And he waves his hand again and casts Greater Restoration on everybody that needs it. Just healing all of this stuff. Just, okay, alright.
He's basically a god.
Close.
Or is he?
Or is he?
So, there is a settlement near the place Noose would like to go. I could send you there.
Yeah, that'll be great. Question, how would we get back once we finish this little...
I can take care of it.
Wonderful.
Also, I'll be watching you the entire time. I can pop in at any moment.
Cool.
I
That's not creepy
have
at all.
more power here than I do in the material plane.
Right. Great.
And you can feel free to call me by this name. Varkalis.
I think we should be heading out about now. Kind of want to get this handled, not to waste too much time, right?
Wonderful, and he snaps his fingers.
And Noose casts Ring of Pie Throwing.
And
and has it like just, but it's not at his face. It's kind of like almost like it slides into position at his feet.
He laughs as he snaps his fingers, and you all disappear and appear in a village.
Very important out of character question.
Okay.
Is the whipped cream for this pie purple?
No, it's just white.
Oh.
And you all just appear in a village. The sign nearby says Verdrangen, and people are milling about in the streets. You notice a collection of gnomes, elves, dwarves, humans, orcs, and an assortment of other races and people going about their day. Again, looks like people have just been collected here. It appears as if numerous settlements have also been meshed together into one larger settlement. Oil lanterns hang from numerous wooden posts, sending out blue light onto the streets, and making a sort of eerie, ethereal, yet soothing light that pierces through the strange despair that's been affecting you all since you've been here. And as you're in here, you feel as if something has been lifted, and you feel much more at ease, almost like whatever this despair is cannot penetrate into this village. The streets seem to be paved with numerous types of stone of varying colors, shapes, and sizes. And upon your arrival, you all see this massive, muscular, gray-skinned orc wearing a collection of pieces of dark, leathery hide draped across his torso, and a cloak made of the same material. The parts of his torso visible beneath the hide are heavily scarred from what appears to be claw marks and teeth marks. Strapped to this orc's back is a massive greatsword made from what appears to be obsidian with 4 emeralds embedded into the hilt. He's riding on the back of a massive brown bear, also covered in various pieces of this hide. He has piercing red eyes and 2 massive tusks, giving him a severe underbite that are pierced with numerous rings. His head is bald, save for a long, shaggy white mohawk and a pair of thick, braided white sideburns. He steps off the bear and stands about 7.5 feet tall and gives off this just pure, imposing presence. And just like, "Ooh, new arrivals. Welcome. Have you been collected as well?"
You
Yes.
could say that.
Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.
Ah, it's good to meet you all. My name is Grom Gloomshadow. He gives a little bit of a bow. We are the Forgotten. And he gestures to the people living in this settlement. Some of us have been living here for decades upon decades. Some of us have been born here.
Alias Chet. Darn glad to meet ye.
That is a terrible, terrible name.
Hey, you know, most of the time you don't get to pick it, am I right?
Well, it's good to meet you all. I assume you're looking for a place to stay. Again, you look like you just got pulled here, so...
We're actually looking for some friends of ours that may be here. They might have gotten here before us. Probably recent arrivals.
Do they have any names?
I'm gonna look to Noose.
This is kind of your visit.
Yeah. And he's going to have it here. I have it. Do you know Fessel Verwin? He's saying Fessel Varen.
He looks at you with a strange look. Never heard of the name before.
Can you gauge whether he's actually heard of it or not?
Insight check.
Okay. 16.
He has genuinely never heard that name before.
Okay. Alright, are there any organizations in the area?
Well, there is one organization. They're a couple miles to the east. I generally don't want to deal with them. They call themselves the Catalyst of Iron. They are led by an elf. Well, they were led by an elf named Lanthrall. Lanthrall kidnapped my son, and this group demanded riches from me and my people. We refused, and they killed my son and hung his flayed corpse in their temple.
That is truly awful. I am so sorry.
Murdered everyone in the procession that was there. There are people that remain, but They haven't come this way in months.
Well, would you be willing to kind of, provide a space for us to just kind of rest for a bit?
Of course.
We're actually looking for, to resolve some things in the area.
Of course. This way. We have some spare homes and buildings you can spend the night in. It's getting rather late, and the creatures that roam the chasm just outside of town, you do not want them picking you up while you're strolling about.
We will take anything you are willing to give us.
They're massive, almost flying creatures made of shadow.
Then we
He
will.
points to the leathers he's wearing. This is their hide.
This is like, I gotta get me one of those.
This way, and he leads you all through town. You can see numerous individuals. He points to this knoll that you can see. He goes, that is, fuck, what's his name? You can see why we're called the Forgotten. That is Brahm Roughhide. He is our leader of the hunt. He goes out and hunts the creatures around here for food and sustenance for our people. And when he points, you see this albino knoll covered in the same leathers that Grom is wearing. And he has a hood that's made from the same kind of flesh. And you can see he's blind in both eyes, but appears to just be. It doesn't seem to hamper him in any way whatsoever. And as you're walking, he points towards a temple and says, "That is our temple. Feldrin Cloverhill. She is our healer. She will heal people that come back with serious wounds, and she's rather powerful, so if any of us fall in battle, she generally can bring us back." And
That's very powerful.
the last time she brought one of us back, I think they were dead for a week or so.
Has she told you about any limits on raising the dead that she has?
Not that I'm aware of.
Alright. And you said she was in the temple usually?
She is, but she's not there right now. She's at home sleeping.
Of course,
And he leads you to this one building that's looks like it's been vacant for quite some time. And he's like, how many of you are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you?
yes, 7 sounds about right.
Yeah. Alright. He opens the door, and looks like it's a mishmash between like a hut and a stone house. They kind of like mishmashed together. And it's a fully decorated house. It's got sofas, dining area, a fireplace, a stairs going upwards to where you can assume bedrooms are, a range to cook things on, like everything. He's like, make yourselves comfortable. My home, and he points to the biggest home kind of near the temple. That's where I live should you need anything from me.
Terribly sorry. What was your name again?
How dare you? Grom Gloomshadow.
Rom. Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, we all have been pulled from different places in the world. Where are you all from? By just interest.
Oh, Material Plane, Solspitza, formerly of Solspitza, the destroyed town, city. Baxter Ornstein von Huxley IV.
Nods. I am from myself. I hail from Anundial. I used to be in the Queen's Council until I was pulled here.
Well, some of us are from Ipshire. Others.
I've heard of it. Someone I also worked with on the council hailed from there as well.
It's a very diverse place to be in.
He looks at Ogden Boone a little bit. You look familiar, good sir. Are you? Do you happen?
alias check.
Do you happen to have a father named Latimer?
Not alias Chet.
All right. Well,
Insight check on Ogden.
You're checking me?
well,
Yeah, you know,
Don't we already know that's his dad's name?
yeah,
I don't think.
yeah. You guys do know.
Yeah.
that,
Never mind.
He's talked to us. Yeah, he's talked to us about his dad being in the fighting pit and
well,
everything. It's like at some point we should do that.
I guess I was wrong. Latimer's a wonderful fighter. Very honorable, noble man. I miss him dearly, being stuck here. Sorry, I thought you were his son. He spoke about his son a lot when I knew him, so a lot of good things, actually. Anyways, and he, should you need anything, again, dinner will be served shortly if you're all hungry. So, and he walks out of the house.
News is gonna lean over to Ogden and be like, "That guy has the same first name as like a bunch of other orcs that, you know."
I mean, it's probably a
Oh,
common
yeah.
name.
Well, no, yeah, it's a very common name. Groms,
I don't know.
it's-
That it just
Have you
seems
ever read
significant.
Have you read Orc history?
I mean, no.
Oh boy, I'll get you into my library. Grom is like the Jackson of Orc names.
Do you mean John?
No, what?
No.
Who, what?
I don't know. Who's named John? I don't think we've met anybody
I don't think we've met a
You're
single
right.
John.
in the
You're
in the
right.
5 years we've been together. I don't think we've met a
Has it
single
been that
John.
long?
No.
Oh, the party's leaving.
But what's anybody doing anything specific while you're in this house? You also notice when you got transported here, like by Varkalis, you all got the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
We wouldn't need to rest, would we?
No. Yeah, so there's a kitchen, there's a wine cellar, there's a lounge area, there's bedrooms upstairs, there's a basement.
I'm gonna see if the kitchen has any food in it.
It does not.
Yeah.
You mentioned
Doesn't?
that everyone was
Oh.
gathering for dinner relatively
Oh.
soon, so
Alright.
you get an idea they eat communally
Okay.
here.
So the range is just for leftovers.
Or if, yeah, people get hungry and want snacks. So yeah, leftovers.
So
Hey.
we got the benefits of a long rest, but it hasn't been a new dawn.
Correct.
Okay.
Is it dusk?
You don't know you're in the Shadowfell.
Oh, it's dusk.
Neither.
News would like to find Grom again.
So you leave the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's gonna go up to him and be like,
You don't find it.
or if he, oh yeah, I guess he's looking for
There's a
him.
lot of people milling about this town, so you can try to look for him.
Hey, you guys know where Guam is?
Maybe it.
This
Oh,
has already left.
yeah.
I think he's at the temple.
Temple to what?
They point to the temple nearby.
Can you see the temple?
Yeah.
Can you tell who's it to?
Nope.
Hmm.
We worship all religions in that temple. All deities are worshipped there. Because we all come from different walks of life, so...
Interesting. Then he'll go
Okay.
over there and look for Grom.
Yeah, he's sat up. He's kind of kneeling up near an altar, kind of eyes closed in prayer.
You saw, kind of. Oh, you said he's kneeling?
Yeah, he's kneeling in front of the altar and he's praying.
Yeah. Noose will kind of do the same and just wait patiently.
Okay.
And yeah.
While that's happening, what's Ash and Henry doing? Walking around town, exploring.
Yeah, Henry's actually going to look around, especially because you said that the place is like cobbled together from a bunch of different
Yeah.
places. Henry is actually going to look around and see if Wait. What was the continent that the tomb's on? Was it? It was Anundial, right?
Anundial, yeah.
Okay. Is Henry familiar with the laws of Anundial?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say then he would research those, but if he's already familiar, yeah, he'll walk around. Henry's gonna follow his nose.
I'll
towards
tell
the
you
meal.
what those are, though. So if you plan on sharing those with the party later, you
Okay.
know. 'Cause yeah. Let me just pull those up because that's in our next campaign notes. Fun fact: the main core ones are, if I can find those,
What's the continent that City Below took place on?
Esselvire.
Esselvire, right. All right, Anundial was Anundial where the Mind Flayer nation was?
Yes.
Okay.
Coral Cove.
Yes, I remember it getting mentioned in the first campaign. Okay.
Yeah, so the laws of Anundial, if I can find them. Man. Here we go. You would know it is hereby illegal to persuade, coerce, or otherwise influence an individual through magical means without consent. So the charm spell. Punishment is a fine of up to 2,000 gold pieces and an edict based on the severity of the crime. If the fine cannot be paid, the individual will be imprisoned for a time based on the severity of the crime. If the edict is in any way broken or not followed, the individual will be imprisoned for a minimum of 1 year. Just because charm spells can get kind of gross, so it's to prevent people getting charmed against their will. All wizards, sorcerers, and warlocks must be publicly registered by the crown upon the start of their training or upon the awakening of their abilities. So that's just people born on the continent. Non-registered casters in these categories will be required to register themselves at the Soulspire Academy or be imprisoned until their magical abilities wane and vanish. Also, people who move there have to get registered as well. Spellcasters are not required to train at the Soulspire Academy, but their training must teach, uphold, and enforce the laws put in place. The worship of the World Breakers is outlawed, so that's like Tiamat, Atropos, blah blah blah, and punishable by imprisonment. Assaulting a member of the Royal Guard, Royal Family, and the Queen's Council is punishable by execution. A trial may or may not be held based on the severity of the assault. Piracy and marauding is outlawed and is punishable by hanging. Anundial is attempting to be a more modern and be more safer for its inhabitants than Ipshire, etc. Murder of innocent lives is punishable by execution. Killing in the act of self-defense is not if proven. Those are like the core main laws that Henry would know about. Basically, piracy is illegal and punishable by hanging.
Right. Well, and the spellcaster one. For that, what is it? Does that apply to visiting spellcasters as well? You said people who move there, but
It's visiting spellcasters do not. But
okay, so you can just be like, I'm a foreigner.
all spellcasters. Yeah, but there is a way to keep track of this. All spellcasters visiting. The Soulspire Academy is very powerful.
Okay. Then yeah, Henry's goals are going to be basically 1, find a hot meal. 2, find anyone from Anundial who might be familiar with the Soulspire Academy and ask them questions about it.
Sure. As you're wandering around, you do see the hunting party come back. They're bringing tonight's dinner. That's going to be communal. And it's a creature Henry has not seen before. And it does not appear like a beast. It appears more monstrous. It looks like a purple turtle. Kind of has like a shell on its back. It has a head resembling a vulture's and the torso of an enormous beetle, with an exoskeleton studded by sharp, bony protuberances. And it has 2 very big, hooked arms and lizard-like feet. And they're just carrying it on a big old branch. You know what? I'll actually let Henry make a nature check or a history check to try to figure out what that is.
I mean, I think I know. What do its hands look like?
Hooks.
So you say either nature or what?
Yeah, nature or survival.
Or survival? Well, I'm equally good at both, so 14.
14. Henry would know that to be a hook horror. A creature native to the Underdark. But it's here
Delicious.
in the Shadowfell.
Delicious.
Tonight's dinner is a hook horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's you look around, you ask if is anyone from Anundial, and you come across this kind of Grom mentioned he was from Anundial, but there's also you find this human man with a very bushy, curled up mustache trimmed goatee, slicked back gray hair, and he's wearing very expensive-looking nobleman's clothes. And you're kind of pointed towards him, and he's sitting on a bench near a fountain reading a book.
Hello, pardon me, good sir.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. My name is Henry Lofferton, Esquire.
An esquire.
Yes, I practice law. Formerly practiced law on the Isle of Cavadaqueros.
I've heard of the place. My name is Reginald von Dietz.
Very nice to meet you. I was directed in your direction because I was told that you were familiar with Anundial and the workings of the Soulspire Academy.
Of course. Yes, I actually studied at the Soulspire Academy before I was pulled here.
Oh, lovely. My compatriots and I were, I was wondering some things about the laws of surrounding magic at the on Anundial and the Soulspire Academy. Particularly should foreign spellcasters, those capable of casting magic, perhaps a druid or a cleric or a warlock or two, or perhaps even a wizard, were to visit from another place, what would be the best way to avoid aggravating the authorities?
Good question. Just do not harm the people that live there with your spells. The Soulspire Academy does have a way to keep track of all those with magical capabilities that step foot on the continent. It is sort of a protective measure, but if you're just there to visit and don't intend on harming anyone or murdering anyone, you should find yourselves undisturbed. But the only casters the school sort of focuses laws on, at least that need to be publicly registered by the Crown, are wizards, sorcerers, and warlocks. Generally, the other sort of casters are not worried about as much. We have the temples on the continent to sort of keep an eye on clerics. We have other sort of governments in place, not governments rather, but organizations, orders, to keep an eye on druids and whatnot. The Soulspire Academy just sort of focuses on the warlocks, wizards, and sorcerers that enter the lands of Anundial.
I see. Well, thank you very much. I'm quite curious. Are you familiar at all with the means by which the Academy tracks spellcasters? Being able to be aware of every spellcaster that steps onto their shores seems quite impressive.
There's a veil that covers the continent that projects from the Soulspire Academy itself, from its central tower. It covers the continent as a whole. It is invisible, but it is essentially a massive sort of network. You could say that keeps the positions of every caster on the continent that is entered.
Have there ever been any particular ne'er-do-wells that have managed to slip through or avoid the detection of this veil?
Of course, yes. About 3,000 years ago, was it 3,000? 2,000 years ago, maybe less. During the time of the Three Heroes, a Mind Flayer Lich happened to kind of slip past the protections and go undetected by the Crown and cause a lot of damage. Actually destroyed Old Anundial City in the process, and hence the new city was built on top of Old Anundial.
Oh dear, well, how did... Well, I suppose that however this Lich managed to slip through these defenses 2,000 years ago, though, that gap in the armor, so to speak, has been shored up then?
I would assume so. I'm not quite sure, though.
I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I assume since you mentioned you studied there, I'm assuming a high level of familiarity with these things.
I actually am an ex-archmage, the leader of the Soulspire Academy, but after I got transported here against my will, it has been taken over by someone else.
I see.
I was archmage there for 50 years or so.
Oh, well. So you must be quite familiar with those defenses then.
Oh, quite familiar, yes. I modified some of them myself.
You modified them to what end? I'm not that I can use them terribly while we're all stuck
Persuasion check.
here. Okay. Natural 20 for a 28.
Fuck, I rolled a 19. Shit.
Henry is persuasive.
Well, you said you're an
because he
esquire,
is a
so
lawyer.
I don't imagine you to be any sort of no harm done. I put a little thing in the system that detects whenever a spell is cast. Before, it was just tracking locations of spellcasters, but there is a gap in it where it could only track the location once every 48 hours, so there's a 48-hour blip in the system. So some casters were kind of using that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm. And you changed it so it's every time someone casts a spell.
I modified it so it's every time a spell is cast within the continent. Now, there are areas on the continent that are not perceived by this force field, such as beneath the ground. The barrier can't penetrate through the ground. Yes, the Underdark on the continent is very well protected.
I see. Well, it's very interesting. So, anytime any spell is cast, that seems like a lot of information to process.
It is a lot of information to process. We have a unit of wizards that switch out every couple of hours that deal with the processing information.
That makes sense. Are there any particular spells that draw attention more than others? I suppose if a cure wounds is cast, no one bats an eye, but
yes,
finger of death.
Oh
shows up.
yes, necromancy spells are automatically targeted and tracked. Basically, spells that would cause harm are the ones that we focus on. And also, since charming,
and of course, charm spells.
Yes, charm spells are outlawed on an undeal, so we sort of focus in on those as well. Any sort of spell that takes away the agency of somebody else is generally considered outlawed on the continent. Such things like polymorph is outlawed. Lots of spells are actually outlawed on the continent. Some of those spells you need express permission from the academy to actually use.
Polymorph entirely, or is self-polymorphing allowed?
Again, it all the spells against unwilling individuals.
I see. That makes sense.
Anything that takes away the agency of somebody is outlawed.
All right. Well, I thank you for entreating my curiosity. Although, I'm curious. I'm a little bit of a. Well, first of all, I assume that is there an exception for self-defense in this regard?
If it can be proven, yes.
All right. Well, I suppose. But
we'll get a blip that someone is casting a harmful spell on somebody else, and then we should get a blip that someone's protecting themselves. So.
All right. I'm also aware that there are I'm a little bit. I'm a home magic scholar myself. I've done a little bit. I've taught myself a few spells.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I'm aware that I've read a bit that there are magic spells that spells and items that can mask a person's presence from things like their aura or detection or things like divination magic. Is the veil powerful enough to work past those, or
again
do those?
It doesn't detect if someone's invisible or hidden by divination. It detects the use of spells. So if a spell is used, it detects a spell being used.
Oh, so the veil itself is not divination magic.
It is not.
Oh, I see. Well, very interesting. Well, thank you for entertaining my questions. I was just very curious.
Yes. We were thinking about making the veil sort of divination-based, but a lot of the Thuergy wizards that we were training left the school, so...
See, they left the school. Why did they do that?
The main teacher for Thuergy magic, unfortunately, was murdered in the school. So they didn't feel safe there, so they transitioned, or left the school entirely, or went into different paths of study. Some remain, but not a lot. Most of the students that studied Thuergy magic at the school left.
It's very interesting. All right. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you. Thank you very much for entertaining my questions.
Of course. You said you come from Cala de Cuervos, correct?
Yes.
I haven't been there in quite some time.
Neither have I, unfortunately.
Last time I was there, the Bellwinds were in power.
I believe they still are.
What a bunch of assholes they are.
Yes, terrible vampires.
Oh, they're vampires now.
If they weren't before, they are now. Yes.
That's interesting.
That is they are the reason why I am no longer at home.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you can find your way home soon.
Well,
Safely.
I hope any of us can.
Yes, I've been here for quite some time.
As well. Let's get to know each other then.
Well,
Then.
it was nice to meet you, Mr. Lofferton.
You as well. Thank you so much.
And he goes back to his book. And it's a romance novel, you can tell from the cover.
Nice.
Alright, Henry, you're doing that. Is Ash doing anything?
Ash is basically just gonna hound anyone else in the party who, like, specifically, like, Eclipse, Ogden, or Baxter, who is in the cells with him,
Okay.
about what has happened over the course of the past couple days. Just like, what was I doing? Where were we? How long were we walk? It just, like, wants to fill in the gap in his memory.
All right, so we were on the ship, and as we were leaving the ship, that's when you got possessed. And then Wilf was with us while we decided to, take a jaunty walk over to the Shadowfell through the forest. Leah got attacked by a walking peach plant. And you were really scared of it. And then we also went through the forest, and it was this really awesome, like, fade effect from, like, multicolored to, like, black and white. It was really pretty cool from an artistic standpoint. Anyway, moving on. Then we fought a bunch of ghouls, and you were scared again. Basically cried for most of the time. Then we rested, got some sweet treasure, continued on. Came to a desert, I think. Everything was just covered in sand. You were too scared to go into this pyramid we found. So you and Leah made sand angels, and eventually you just kind of kept going so deep that you just fell through. And then some of us forgot about you. Sorry. And then Valkaris came in, and everything was fixed. And that's about it. It was about 3-4 hours.
Alright, so from what I'm getting here, I spent the majority of this time crying and hiding.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Not my best look. Alright, good to know. Thank you for filling
You
in.
were possessed by a 7-year-old, so
Well, that I suppose that does make sense.
yeah.
While Ogden and Eclipse and Ash are talking, what's Leah up to?
Leah has 100. As they were talking, Leah just kind of like left them, and she heard like the temples, like everybody like worships there, so she wanted to see if there's anything specific about like the fungal lich, anything like ooh.
Okay.
So like she's gonna go and like open inside and like go check it out.
Okay, you're at the temple?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll tell you, you can see numerous kind of idols on the wall for each of the deities that are worshipped here, that allow worship. None of the world breakers are worshipped here. You can see an idol for Armathnan, the god of life, also known as the Lord of the Dawn Life. His symbol is kind of like this twisted sun. There is the idol for Cronus the Magnificent, also known as the god of time. His idol is a twisted hourglass full of running sand that's constantly just running back and forth. The next idol is for Deltoreth, the god of law, also known as the Lady of Hammers. Her symbol is like a scale. Also, the god of nature and the god of the Feywild is also up here, known as Fungalial or Silophyr, and is also known as the matron deity of the Myconids and the creator of the Fungians. And his symbol is a little mushroom with a toad sitting on it. Then there is Mortranius, the god of death, and his symbol is a scythe wreathed in blood and shadow. Then there is Reichtum, the god of riches, also known as the gold patron, heavily worshipped by the people of Silgur. His symbol is a gold bar. Then there is finally Selrenis, the goddess of light, also known as the mother of conflagration, and hers is a sun with a hand coming up out of the ground. Those are the deities that look like they're worshipped here.
She's gonna go walk over.
You see Noose kind of sitting somewhere, and you see Grom, that orc, kind of kneeling in front of an altar praying to himself.
She's just gonna like let him do his thing, and she's gonna try to position herself like halfway between the mushroom shrine and the scythe shrine.
Okay.
Just like right in the middle between the two, because that's the closest thing she can think of in her mind to do right now.
Okay.
And she's just gonna kneel and have her staff in front of her and put her head on it.
Okay.
And she's gonna say a prayer.
Sure.
And I'll send you what she says.
Okay. And you're saying this like in your head, like silently?
Yeah, like she's
Okay.
just like...
You get a sense your prayer was heard, but you don't hear a response.
She just kind of like nods her head, and like she like stands up and like turns to
And you
see.
knowingly just worshipped a world breaker in a place that is considered worship of good gods.
You think she?
But yeah,
Five intelligence.
She
but
no, that
Not
got
anymore.
fixed.
She's been-
but-
Oh, that's right. That got fixed. That's right.
but yeah, you feel like your prayer got heard, but there's no response.
Okay, and she's just gonna walk out of the temple. Like she's not, like she's not trying to like say hi to Noose or anything. She's just trying to like go about her business and
Okay.
leave.
Yeah. So, Noose, what are you up to? You see Grom still praying. He finishes up and stands up, brushes himself off, turns around and sees you. He's like, "Oh, hello.
Oh, hey.
Are you religious?"
I am.
Ah. Which of these idols do you worship, if you don't mind me asking?
My worship is more along the lines of principle.
Ah, makes sense.
Order.
Makes sense. He gestures towards the idol with the hand coming out in the sun. I pray to the Lady of Conflagration.
Conflagration.
Yeah, the goddess of light, Selrenis.
Isn't that word associated with, like, fire?
Of course.
Ah. That's neat. I actually had a question.
Of course.
Do the catalysts of iron, do they cause you guys trouble?
Again, they haven't in a couple of months.
What'd they do?
They killed my son, like I mentioned.
Wait. Yeah, you knew. And really nothing's happened?
No, not after I went there and murdered most of their procession.
Alright. What was all this stuff you said about, a gladiator or something? Some dude that was in fighting pits or something like that?
Oh, yes. He didn't mention anything about the fighting pits. He just said he's
Or,
served.
yeah, some type of,
That was with someone that looked like Ogden Boone on the council. That's what he said.
yeah.
The fighting pits is what Valkaris said.
Okay. You said that, someone in my party reminded you of someone.
Oh, yes.
Who did you mean?
Your elf friend. He reminds me of a man I used to serve with on the Council of Anundial, the Queen's Council. They look the same a little bit in the face.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. What was his name?
Latimer Meriden. He had a wife. He talked about his wife, Miss Marion Boone, or something along those lines.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Any reason why he is not with his wife?
I didn't pry. It's not my business.
Ah.
He just talked about his wife, his daughter, and talked about his son. Quite a lot, actually.
What did you say about his son?
They had a complicated relationship. And that he regretted their last speaking, how it went, and that he misses him. But that's all I recall. Again, I didn't pry too much. It's none of my. It's not my business.
Well, I think it was probably good that you didn't prod very much. My buddy's a little prickly in that area.
Yeah. Well, it's generally wise not to stick your nose into personal matters that people have, I found.
Unless your best bud.
No.
The best buds get to know everything.
Not even then, I don't think. Either way, I don't want to take away from your worship. I have to go start getting dinner ready for the people. And he walks out of the temple, leaving you alone.
He leaves Noose there, smiling with his freaking nightmare of a grin.
And while you're sitting there, you feel the presence of somebody sitting in one of these pews beside you.
He'll like side eye.
It's Volcaris.
Oh hey.
Hello.
How's it going? You like the pie?
I did. It was a nice touch.
It was a little unexpected.
Yes. It was.
Noose is kind of looking at the ring on his finger. He's just like, is this thing gonna have some bad effects on me?
No. I promise.
Alright.
I'm sorry I didn't reveal my true identity sooner.
It's fun.
But
It made me figuring stuff out really fun.
But the forms I've revealed to you are avatar forms. The jester, the little gnome boy, he gestures to himself. This is who I really am. My name is not Pipshin, it's Valkaris Velteragine. That's my true name. Pipshin was an identity I took when people started worshipping me. I thought it was a funny sounding name, so I took it.
It is fun. And I just gotta say, thank you. You helped me a lot.
I know.
I could never do enough to pay you back. And so I will tear these guys' guts out.
Oh, you've actually paid me quite enough.
Well, then I will do this selfishly, because they killed my family.
I don't expect any less. But again, you've paid me enough. Just through knowing the people you're with, I have gained things from them. You're one of them gave me 12 years of their life. That's fun.
It's a little interesting for sure.
Noose, I have to be honest about some things though, if we're to go forward.
Alright.
You remember when you prayed to me to bring your friend back from death, Eclipse?
Yeah.
You can see he kind of gets a little upset in his face. I orchestrated the union with her soul and Velocash.
I thought it was weird that wind up.
He sort of wronged me in the past, and I thought if I did that, it might orchestrate his downfall from you all, and I guess it did, so it paid off. But again, coincidences, he did kill her family, so I do feel a little bad about it, but again, I kinda don't feel bad about it.
Well, yeah, because, I mean... Actually... I mean, that does kind of stink. He almost killed Marion. Because of him being tied to all of us. He killed a lot of people because he was tied to us. So, I mean, that's not really great.
That's our little secret.
Yeah, I think we'd lose a lot of followers if I did too much about that.
Speaking of which, actually, he turns to you. You're the only one left. Please
What?
don't die.
Only one.
So, you're my favorite,
Obviously.
but I like to lure my followers into dangerous situations. It's fun. It gives me entertainment. Some of them are really stupid.
Oh.
Melon is one of the only ones left alive. Wait, so actually, no, yes, there are a few left, but a lot of them aren't. I might have lured them into scenarios I thought they could get out of, and they didn't. It goes back to my whole past of liking to lure mortals to their doom.
I don't see how that's different from other gods I've heard about.
True, but I'm not a god.
Oh. Oh, you kid her.
I promise, and I cannot break a promise. I'm not a god.
Oh. What's the difference between a god and a deity? Can I at least say a deity?
You can say I'm a deity, of course.
Yeah, it is.
I called myself the god of tricks, but I'm not.
I mean, what god of tricks wouldn't?
He nods a little bit. Makes sense. The reason I want my sphere back, Noose, is I fucking hate it here. I hate it in the Shadowfell. I want to be back in the material plane.
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds good.
Also, another confession, I guess. Thalren...
Please, speak to me. And he holds out a hand
Yeah.
over his head.
Yeah. Thalran was the good brother for a time. He was my polar opposite. He did not take pleasure in killing people. He despised it. He only...
But then he drank a bit too much of the sauce.
Correct. He lured dying and sick mortals into the Feywild to give them health and everlasting life, should they choose it. But I wanted to mess with his head a little bit, play a prank on him. He's my brother, of course. So I created that elixir that you drank. He drank a little too much of it, and that elixir was made from the life force of the mortals I lured into the Feywild. He needed to sustain his addiction, so he made more of it, and in turn of healing these people, which he did, he drained them of their sustenance. So in part, it's my fault, but he's dead now, so everything is fine. Pranks can be very bad if they go too far, Noose. You know
I
this.
mean, yeah. Yeah, Tombstone. Darn what gloves.
Yes.
Hey, but, I don't know. It's like... I mean, sometimes it sounds like you were kind of a bad dude before you did something really bad, and then all of a sudden you just were like, you know what, that was really bad. and then you kind of turn a little corner. Not saying
I wouldn't
Too
say
much.
I turned a corner at all. I'm still inherently bad.
no.
I have motives for everything I do. Um, do you want to hear how my followers started?
Absolutely.
I would appear in the
The
material
Old
plane
Testament.
and lure people into forests, specifically children, and I would pull them into the Feywild. People would see me doing this and they feared me, so they started to fear me, and through that fear, I gained powers. And I thought, I should cultivate this and see what happens, and here it is. Eventually, those fear became pranks for some reason, because I would. For some reason, I guess, pranks were my forte. Luring people, lying to them, pranking people to do bad things. And here we are.
I mean, on top of providing so many people with joy, pranks also keep people on their toes.
Also,
Fear.
when Ash dies, his soul is bound to the Feywild and to me, so no resurrections for that poor chap based on what he asked me to do for Joseph.
Oh, so that means we need to take care of this Shadowfell business going on here, or else Ash will be kind of stuck there.
You know the creature that Henry killed in Marion's house?
Yeah.
He'll most likely become one of those, a boggle. It depends.
Oh, that's not so bad. That's
It
not
depends.
a bad way
It
to go.
depends what I want him to be. I was thinking either a boggle or a satyr. Also, noose. One last thing.
Yes.
When I am reunited with my sphere, I am staying on the material plane.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, oh, hold on a sec. Won't that be kind of rough for you?
We'll see what happens.
Because, I mean, that kind of makes you a little vulnerable, doesn't it?
He smiles. No. The sphere completes me and I need it.
Yeah, that checks out.
You are the next in line. And then he just disappears. And that's where we're going to take a break real quick.
Oh
So
boy.
we'll see you all back here in 5 to 10 minutes.
Next in line for what?
Bagel.
Fuck.
Bagel,
We're
not
back,
bagel.
everybody, and before I
At least it wasn't an obscenity.
and before I kill everybody,
It was worse.
on this session. Yeah. So
69.
yeah, 69. Noose, you talk to Velcaris for a bit, and then he just disappears. Oh God. And as this all happens, you guys can hear from the center of town, dinner, and then there's a loud bell ringing, just ding a ling 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 a ling. And you can hear people leaving their homes to go have dinner. Henry, you're still outside walking wherever, and you can see people start clamoring for the town square to eat
Oh, lovely.
whatever you saw being brought in on that giant branch.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just smell the roasting smell of meat. You all can smell it in the home you're in, wherever you are. You can just smell roasting flesh. And it smells great.
As we're walking, I'd like to speak to Ogden in a hush.
Ogden.
Hey, me everyone, Ogden Spoon. Hi. Hi, I'm Ogden Spoon. I got my friend with me, Eclipse. Eclipse of the moon. I'm Ogden Boone. I've got Eclipse here from Eclipse Quest. I'm Ogden Boone. And I got things to say to Eclipse.
Episode 69.
Nice.
Fuck you, Caleb.
So what's Eclipse gonna say to Ogden?
You guys are so mean.
What?
Okay. I get this is revenge for the bagel shit. I am sorry. Okay.
Trask.
Whew. Sorry. So I saw you get a bit tense when Ron mentioned your father.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you kind of shrugged it off a bit. I know you two didn't really get along, but
Yeah.
I mean, he is your father.
You know, I kind of sick of hearing everyone say that same phrase. I'll be honest about that. So, yeah, it just because he's a dad doesn't make him a cool dude.
In the more blood versus water sense, he's not your dad, because like dads are people who like love you and take you to sports games, and they're your like rec soccer coach when you're 6. Not that I know what soccer is.
Yeah, dads also leverage you for political gain, use you as a centerpiece for a campaign, and also, shits to your mom. So, dads are a lot of things. Dads are a lot of things, and everyone is allowed their complicated relationships. Is what I.
Then why are you going after him? Does he even deserve to be rescued by you? Why not let your sister handle it?
Because the way I care about my mom, she cares about my dad. And I care about her, so the transitive property of love, he gets a pass this time. Or at least he gets some help.
When this happens again, which it probably will, considering the world's beginning to end, what happens then? What happens the next time he's in trouble?
He's also an adult, a fully grown elf adult. Very old. Old man. 106, maybe? I don't know. I stopped counting.
I know how old he is.
Just the worst. I don't. We're really belaboring my dad's stuff. What's the deal here? What's your skin in the game? I'm confused. Sorry, I'm very defensive about it. I don't like to talk about it.
Maybe I keep bringing it up because you got a dad and I didn't.
Oh no, he left.
Yeah, well, my dad lied to me for 20 years, so.
And actively fought to get back into your life. And I don't want to play Whose Life is Harder, because that's just a game where we all lose.
I just want to say, be grateful for what you have. And if it's a shitty dad, it's more than most.
Yeah, you know, he's a powerful enough human to send a message spell my way too, you know. Yeah, I feel like I don't. There's a lot. I mean, you know me, but you don't know him. So, what's the point of defending the person you don't know?
Yes, devil's advocate.
Why does everyone want to advocate for the devils? Why? What? They do enough for themselves. They do.
I just like to present both possible sides of the story. I don't know. It's like a thing with me. I'm too empathetic, I guess.
Well, that just seems like you're trying to start a fight for a fight's sake. I didn't even ask you to.
I don't want to fight with you, Ogden.
I don't either. Why are we upset?
I don't think it's because we had horrible childhoods.
Yeah, you don't slouch the way I do if you had a good childhood. I got slumped shoulders.
I'm gonna start massaging one of his shoulders.
Ah.
Is that a knot right there?
It's like a bag of snakes back there.
All right, here, let me get my elbow in there.
So as
Start working on a knot.
As this is all happening, you're all kind of just walking along. Everyone else is awkwardly quiet as Ogden and Eclipse have this weird little tiff. And you all arrive in the center of town and see the creature I described earlier that Henry saw kind of roasting on a spit. This vulture-like, beetle body, lizard foot, hooked arm creature just roasting on a spit. And Grom is just hacking it up and giving hunks of this meat on plates to people. And everyone's nodding their thanks and going to sit down wherever they can and eat the food. Ah, newcomers, please step forward.
All right.
I'll step forward, but first, is there any sight of a person who would be named Feldrin Cloverhill? The healer around here, maybe?
Don't know what she looks like.
Just someone who looks like they might be a healer. I'm not gonna shout it.
Perception check.
That did not go where I wanted. Ooh, okay. 21.
21. You see a forest gnome with bright pink hair tied into pigtails, wearing a set of scale mail made from the bones and scales of the same flesh creatures that Grom wears. And she has a golden mace on her side that seems to emit a holy light, like just radiant light, and she has piercing blue eyes, and she's helping Grom hand out the pieces of meat to the people here.
Okay. I'm gonna remind myself to talk to her later.
Okay. Yes, newcomers, come. Dinner is served. You all look mighty hungry.
Oh, very.
And he just cuts off a piece of this roasting hook horror meat and puts it on plates for each of you. There's like roast potatoes and like carrots and other vegetables on this plate as well.
Any yams?
No yams. And hands each of you a plate and says, "Enjoy your dinner. Sit wherever you please."
Baxter's just like, what can you speak of the notes on this dish?
It's hokor and potatoes.
I've never had hokor. What can you tell me about it before I feast?
Tastes like a bird mixed with a beetle.
I've never had beetle.
It's a delicacy here for our people. The hokor.
I will accept it gladly, thank you.
Enjoy your meals, everyone. And he gets his own plate and goes to sit off somewhere by himself.
I'm gonna sit next to Ogden, but keeping my eye on Feldrin.
Okay, she's still helping people. She's walking around, kind of touching people on the shoulder, talking to them a little bit, and she's just kind of just roaming. Braun the Knoll, he's eating away without any utensils, kind of just, and then he kind of like clambers up into this, like, onto the roof of a building and just kind of sits there eating his food. Other people walking around. Henry, you recognize the human who talked to you about magic laws. He waves at you and walks up with his food, talking to some other individuals, like 2 dwarves. Oh, yes. Just in conversation. Do you all eat the food?
Yeah.
It tastes like chicken with back note of... Man, I don't know how... It's hard to describe what insects taste like, because I've eaten insects, but it's hard to describe the taste. There really isn't one.
I imagine it... I mean...
Insects really don't have a taste.
Crabs are essentially insects.
Yeah.
They're in the sea.
But eating insects, which I've done, no taste. They generally taste what they're spiced with. So when I've eaten crickets, it tasted like what they were spiced with: lime, salt, and chili. So it just tastes like chicken with like a weird kind of sour back note, but not a bad one. And the flesh is blue and stringy.
Like a pulled chicken.
Yeah.
Baxter's all about texture, and so when he like gets the stringy meats, he kind of erps it.
Looks like chicken.
Well, texture wise,
Shredded chicken.
Yeah, like shredded chicken.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, then never mind then. If the texture is just weird, the way you described it, I was just like, what?
Well, it is weird. It's a hokor.
Alright. There it is. We're fine then. Baxter drinks.
And the potatoes taste like the best roast potatoes you've ever had. They probably have been flavored with magic, like prestidigitation probably. You don't see any water though, so you don't know how they were boiled or roasted.
Ash just goes to town on it. Henry eats the potatoes and then looks down at the meat and says, you can have this one. And then his eyes shift over and Carnifex just goes,
Nice.
Is Henry a vegetarian or just suspicious of foreign foods?
He just doesn't he saw the thing that it came in on. He was just like, you deal with putting that in our stomach. Once it's in there, it'll be okay. I just don't want to put it in my face hole.
Yeah. What's everyone else's thoughts on your meal?
Noose is already done with his and going up for seconds.
They wait to see if everyone else has had their first plate, and then they give Noose his seconds.
Yeah. Noose is just
I've just been playing with the potatoes.
Okay. This is probably the first real meal you've all had. Well, actually, not in a long time, because you had a meal at Marion's, but 2 technically real meals in a row.
It's like getting a bite of something, different pieces of it together to try, like, oh, what's the best combination?
Like in Ratatouille.
The best potato to meat to carrot ratio of, like, oh, a little less carrot. Oh, I see the carrot is really mellowing out that sour. All right, like let me add a little more potato. Ooh, yeah. Like it's a flavor science project. Like just we're almost there. Almost the perfect bite. Just
So,
I love that. I love that.
has Feldrin come by us at any
Yep.
point?
Yeah, she's starting to wander over now, and she's just patting you all on the head, just saying, "Oh, enjoy your dinner." Does it to Ogden. Pats Noose and Baxter on the head. Enjoy your dinner.
Baxter looks over to what Ogden's doing and is just like, you seem like you're onto something. Let me know when you find something good.
oh, I've eaten bugs before.
And she pats Henry and Ash on the head. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you.
Pats Leah on the head. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, thank you. She's sprinkling some lavender she had in her bag on the potatoes and eating
Okay.
them as well.
And she gets to Eclipse and pats you on the head. Enjoy your dinner.
Could I
Oh.
maybe speak to you for a minute?
Of course, that's what I'm here for. And she waddles to a little private area where no one really is sat near.
I'm gonna sit down my mostly untouched plate and follow her.
Okay.
I heard that you could resurrect people who
Uh,
have been dead for a while.
yeah, there's always restrictions on it. It definitely depends. If their soul is willing, first off. That's generally the number one contender that matters the most. Yeah, I've been known to bring people back. Yeah, if they've been dead no more than a century, if they haven't died of old age, and again, if their soul is free and willing. But I do need their body.
Right, of course. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
All right. Well, enjoy your dinner.
You as well. And I'll go back
Okay.
to my spot.
Okay. You guys see Eclipse come back, and you see the gnome she was talking to kind of go off to other people and start doing the same thing she was doing to you guys, touching them on the forehead, and have a nice dinner. Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, just look a little more down than before.
All right.
Eat one potato.
Okay. Eventually, the dinner service is wrapped up, and people start cleaning up, and people start going back into their homes. Another bell rings, and Grom's like, "All right, that is sunset. So, everyone get inside if you do not want to get eaten by the Gloomstalkers." No, seriously.
By the what?
Oh, Gloomstalkers. They dwell in the chasm outside of town. They come out at night and try to eat us, so we generally go indoors.
Lovely.
And you can see the three main people of this community: Brom, the gnoll, and then Feldrin, the gnome. They're kind of making sure everybody gets inside safely before they too retire. Do you guys go back inside?
Mm-hmm.
Does everybody go back inside?
Yeah.
Okay. So you all get back into the home. You can eventually see the three leaders of the community disperse and go to their own separate homes. And you're all just kind of sitting inside this home, doing whatever you please.
Just will kind of wiggle on over to Baxter. Hey, I heard some stuff about your dad from Grom.
Do you mean Ogden?
Ogden. Who did I say?
You
Baxter.
said Baxter, so
God damn! Why would I do that?
I don't know.
so
I
yeah.
tell you, it's weird.
Ogden. Yeah.
As someone who knows.
I meant Ogden.
Ogden Boone.
Ogden Booth. Hi, Ogden Booth here.
You guys.
Coming in for the talkums to your face. What do you need? Ogden Boone.
So yeah, Noose, you wander over to Ogden.
I talked to Guam. He said some stuff about your dad.
I swear to goodness, another person jumps up my butt about my dad.
Wait, another person?
I'm gonna just lose my mind.
Wait, what's going on? Who else did it?
Everyone's getting me right in the neck. Right in the neck.
Everyone?
Oh, my dad. Everyone.
Even
Everyone's-
Leia? She can't even reach that high.
Everyone's getting in it, getting right on my friggin' chops about it. Back off, everyone.
Hey, Ogden, dads suck, am I right?
Right, Dad. This guy gets it. Like, he donated half of his DNA to me, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to feel things because he's a dick the rest of the time? Jeeps creeps, people.
Oh, I know he was a dick. I just didn't. I mean, you've said already that you're wanting to like show off and like pretty much pounce on him and save his butt just so that he's, he recognizes your greatness.
Well, listen, it's like, look at me now, Dad. Everyone's like, oh, your dad. And I was like, well, he was not great. He didn't support me. And now I did it without him. Look at me. Famous archaeologist, writing books. One book. But you know what? Hey, I'm a good portion of the way through. It's got roughly 69 chapters so far.
Nice.
So, hey, Everett, get out of my shoes about it.
Oh, okay. How else? How was the rest of your day?
How's the rest of my day?
Yeah.
Well, I found the perfect combo. If you're wondering,
Baxter's
if you're wondering,
like, oh.
if you're wondering what it is, cut a carrot in half. One of the smaller pieces of carrot, cut that in half. Spear that. Then meat. Then potato. And if you can get some grease from the meat to really soak into the potato, then you just all in one.
Baxter's just
chew, let that emulsify. One swallow.
Baxter's just like here, right here, at this one, right at this point, and he's like positioning a knife above the carrot, like about like this.
Ogden cuts the piece of carrot in half. Perfect.
Oh, I was way off. Oh, yes. All right. And he'll like kind of do it, try to do the same thing, and he just holds it up like this. And, all right. I have been to many a ball and many a feast catered up the wazoo. And Mr. Ogden Boone, you have made the feast of a pickup game of kickball.
Oh yeah. Well, being rich, they can teach you how to order, but they can't teach you how to eat.
This is very true. Thank you.
Henry,
Yes.
you hear a voice say your name upstairs, where no one is yet. He says, Henry.
Oh, yes. I'll start going up in that direction.
Okay. You get up the stairs and there's somebody standing down the hallway, just staring in your direction.
Yes, can I help you?
Save me, son.
I'm sorry?
Can you see your father standing at the end of the hallway?
Hello, Father.
Save me, son.
Where are you?
On a ship.
Who has you?
Edmund. Belwyn.
I see. And what does Mr. Bellwind want?
Carnifex. Returned.
Do you know why?
No. And your father disappears.
Well, this is
And
concerning.
you're stricken with the worst headache you've ever had in your life.
Mm.
You see images of the three Bellwinds, Edmund the son and his two parents, whose names I do not remember at this current point in time. They're standing... Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. Either way, I'll worry about that later. They're standing in what looks like the basement of the Bellwyn home, which you remember, Henry would know to have jail cells and whatnot. And you're in a prison cell, and your parents are wearing very shabby clothes. Very soiled and wet and dirty clothes. Your parents are just completely soiled and dirty. And the Bellwinds are smiling, blood trickling down the side of their mouths. And your parents have fresh bite marks all over their necks. And they just smile, and you're back in the present.
Mm. Mm. Well. Shit. He's just gonna, like, 1,000-yard stare, just turn around and just go back down the stairs.
Ogden. You also hear a voice upstairs say, Ogden.
Ah, you son of a bitch. You're up my ass now, too. Walks up.
Okay. You go upstairs, and at the end of the hallway you see a figure. Kind of cloaked in shadow a little bit. Looks very similar to you in the facial features, but longer hair, very noble looking clothes. You see your father standing at the end of the hallway. Hello, son.
God damn it. Do you know how many people have been up my ass about you today?
Hello, son.
God damn it. How are you doing? Are you struggling?
Bad.
Really?
And you feel a sudden headache take over you. Like,
son
the
of
worst headache you've ever
a
had.
bitch!
You see your father, a magic suppressing collar around his neck. And he's in a fighting pit. He's not wearing much in terms of clothes, just like ruined rags. And he's holding,
You don't need it.
And he's holding his sword, and he's getting absolutely demolished by this massive stone giant. Just punching him around, grabbing him up by the legs and just throwing him. The image flashes to your sister, Neola. Same collar on her neck. And she's in a cell, her arms chained up like this towards the ceiling. And she's battered and bruised and covered in stab wounds. And there's a figure standing in front of her in a cloak, but you cannot see any features. And you just hear her scream as a knife goes towards her. And you also snap back to the present.
Did I pass
Yeah.
Henry,
Mhm.
by the way?
Yeah.
I'll come back. Well, did you have horrible visions?
Yes, you too.
Oh yeah, nightmarish. It's we keep
Indeed.
And no one else hears any voices.
What was I think we had mentioned vampires. Is that still happening?
Yes, they have both of my parents,
Oh, son of a bitch.
and have been feeding on them, apparently.
Oh. What?
You hear a scream outside. Like a blood-curdling scream. And then you hear another one echo throughout town, and then another one, and then another one. And then the smell of burning wood, like fire.
Is there a window?
There is a
we see?
window.
I'll peep it. I'll peep it.
You see a woman running past the window, and she just hits the ground hard, an arrow sticking out the back of her head.
Do I recognize the woman from the feast?
Yeah, just one of the villagers. More screams. The window you're looking through, an arrow comes sailing through the window and shatters the window, but you just pull your head out of the way just in time. And the arrow just embeds itself in one of the walls, kind of near where everyone's kind of gathered, just dong.
I get the feeling we're under some sort of attack.
What's going on?
Gather around, everyone. There's fighting going on.
Let's get him!
Wait, hold on.
Noose has an idea who it is, and he just runs.
Ah!
Noose
He
is gone.
runs
Just
out
the
there
door. Noose is out
already.
the door. Noose, you see the buildings.
Ash follows his best buddy.
Okay, Noose, you see buildings on fire, and these pale figures, like pale skin, running around and just cutting people down and shooting arrows at them. As soon as they see the two of you burst out of a home, they turn and attack. I need everybody to roll initiative. As these three these elven-looking figures turn their attention towards the two people bursting out of this home and get ready to kill them. So,
I'm trying to remember if Russ is here.
he is not. He got killed during the mummy fight. He got the
Back
acid
to-
got him. Yeah, you'd have to cast Find Familiar again.
No worries. Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Eclipse, what do you get for initiative? You're muted.
18.
18. Noose.
19.
19. Ash.
17.
17. Just going down almost. Ogden Boone.
12.
Leah.
19.
Dang. Henry.
21.
And Baxter.
13.
Henry, you're first. You see
Baxter.
Noose.
What's going on?
You see Noose and Ash just book it out the front door.
Oh dear. All right. Henry's gonna. Can I make it out the door in one movement?
Yeah. Exiting the home, you see buildings ablaze and individuals screaming as they race around the city, avoiding what look like pale-skinned, elf-like individuals wearing hooded cloaks and firing crossbows at the people fleeing. Nearby, a woman is cradling a child in her arms, the child's tunic stained with crimson. You see Grom fighting three of these individuals, cutting them down with ease about 100 yards away, before proceeding deeper into town to deal with others, as well as Brahm the Gnoll, firing arrows at these elves from a nearby rooftop, pulling off headshots with ease, even though he's blind. As you exit the home, you see three of these elves catch sight of you all and race forward.
Okay. Henry is going to cast Far Step to give himself that teleporting ability.
Sure.
And he is going to, I believe it's 60 feet. With 60 feet, can I get to, you said there's a woman cradling a child?
Yeah, there's a woman holding a child. The
Can
child's
I-
shirt is stained with blood.
Can I get to, with a 60-foot teleport, can I get to them?
Oh yeah, they're about 40 feet away.
Okay, then he'll step out as soon as he sees them, just turn and vanish, reappear next to them, between them and the things as the flail is appearing, and then is going to swing around and blast off 3 Eldritch Blasts at one of the creatures.
Alright, go for it. These are bald, white elves with pointed ears.
Well, all right.
Ogden, you're an elf. You know what these would be adjacent elves known as the Shatter Kai.
All right. That's a 13 to start. Great start.
13 misses. It kind of just just with insane agility. Just
Second one's a 23,
23 hits.
and the third one is a 24.
Hits. It just dodges the first one, kind of cackles at you, and then both in the chest.
All right, for 23 points of force damage.
That one is just like, and then it just smiles, spits out some blood, and just locks eyes with Henry.
All right, that's Henry's turn.
All right, Leah, everyone, running outside.
She is just running out. She's just like, what? She's like following.
Yeah.
Like,
So as soon
why
as you
are
get out the
you
door,
running?
as soon as you get out the door, you see Henry teleport towards this woman holding her clearly deceased child, and then he just throws 2 Eldritch Blasts at these very pale-skinned elves.
She's just like not even thinking. She's just like thrown out Chill Touch.
The one that Henry attacked, or one of the other two?
The one that Henry attacked.
Go for it. You just run out. And this necrotic hand covered in moss and mushrooms coming out of the fungal lich's staff goes sailing towards this Shadowkai.
23.
To hit?
To hit.
That definitely hits. Just catches it like in the throat and just starts like choking the life out of it.
14 necrotic damage.
Nice. Oh, I need to check something. Oh! Takes half of that. Takes 7.
Okay, good to know.
Just...
And... none of them are within 10 feet of me, are they?
Correct. They're all about 30 feet away.
Okay. She's just gonna stay out there and just, like, ready up.
Okay. Noose. You see 3 of these figures. Henry teleports towards this woman holding her dead child. Leah throws a chill touch out.
Great. Who's the biggest, baddest dude around?
They all look relatively the same.
Noose runs up to the closest one then.
Okay. It's 30 feet away.
Great. He jumps on his chest and casts Inflict Wounds at 6th level.
Okay, make an attack roll. And you did not see...
27 to hit.
Yep, and you did not see they were resistant to necrotic.
That's fine.
So yeah, you leap on his chest and just cast Inflict Wounds into its chest cavity. Roll damage.
That's a lot of damage. Let's see.
Inflict Wounds is like my favorite spell almost.
That's a lot of damage.
That is 52 damage.
Oh, reduced to half, it takes 26. Still a lot.
Alright.
And you're just holding on to the front of its chest.
Yeah. And then use bonus action, he's gonna say hiss and pull out the rattler.
Okay. Have you put that ring on yet?
He did.
Okay.
He put it on right when he got it.
When you put it on, you automatically attune to it.
Oh, okay.
Just so
let
you know.
me do that then.
All right. That'll bring it to Eclipse. Noose, Leah, and Henry book out of the building.
Okay. How many are there currently that I can see?
3 total.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Henry's like up close and personal with one of them almost. Noose is holding onto one's chest and pumping it full of necrotic energy. Leah whipped out and threw a chill touch at the same one Henry's attacking.
Okay. How far away is the third one from me?
30 feet. They're all
30 feet?
Yeah, they're all relatively close to each other.
Okay. Then, in that case, I'm going to...
And it's standing on a rooftop with a crossbow.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to bonus action dash and movement to climb to the base of the building and climb up.
Okay.
I have a 20-foot climb speed.
Yep. You can get up.
Great. And I'm going to attack that guy.
All right. And sorry, they don't have crossbows.
Twice.
They have these spiked-looking
Or just
chains.
once.
These really long spiked chains, not crossbows. Oops.
Cool. I use my bonus action to dash, so just...
Yep.
Oh, man. I take a warning slash at him.
What'd you
That
get?
was only an 11 to hit.
It doesn't hit. It kind of throws his chain up, wraps around your weapon, and pulls it out of the way.
But I still have it.
You
in
still
my
have it,
grasp.
yeah. It just kind of just pulled it out of your way, out of its way.
Great, yeah. Just want to get his attention.
Okay. Anything else? Bonus action.
That is my turn.
The one
No,
near
that was all.
the one near Henry is going to get closer. It's going to bonus action shadow jump closer to Henry, just disappear in the shadows and reappear in front of Henry. And it's going to make 2 attacks at Henry with its spiked chain. Are you standing in front of the woman and her child?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he's just going to swing twice with this chain. Just whoosh. Oh, sorry, 3 spiked chain attacks. Just whoosh.
Oh, fun.
So the first one is a 25 to hit.
Just hits, yeah.
Oh shit. 2, 5 piercing damage, and I need
Okay.
a dexterity saving throw as the chain like kind of wraps around you. Just
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Dexterity saving throw 21
21 succeeds. Okay.
and concentration 12.
All right. So the chain just goes slack. It whips the chain up and tries to slash you across the face with it this time. 19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Okay. 10 piercing damage from the chain as it slashes across your face. I need another dexterity saving throw.
7.
7. You get the idea. It's choosing what effect it gets to choose when you fail that save, and you are knocked prone. Just whoosh,
Okay.
and you land on the ground, and then it's going to arc the chain up in the air and aim for the woman cradling her child.
Nope.
Natural 20.
Oh.
So she just whips the chain forward, or it whips the chain forward. Times 2 is 6. 9. 9 piercing damage. Slashes across the woman's throat, and she drops to the ground, unconscious. That'll bring it to Ash.
All right. Ash will rage and charge the one closest to him.
It would be the one on the roof, the one that Noose is grappling, or the one that... They're relatively all within 30 feet.
Okay. You said noose, roof. Was there a third one?
Yeah,
Or the one by
that,
Henry, right?
one that has Henry prone on the ground, and just
Okay.
attacked an innocent woman.
Mm-hmm. Eclipse has the one on the roof.
And Noose is just pumping the chest of this one full, like that he's like holding onto the front of it, just pumping it full of necrotic energy.
Okay. I'll help out my buddy. I'll just come up, like, while he's got the front of it, I'll spin up behind it and swing Lore Weaver at its back.
All right, make an attack roll.
All right. Let's go Reckless.
Sure.
24 to hit on the first attack.
24 hits. Do you have? Never mind. I don't think you get brutal criticals. Anyways, yes, hits.
No. And I'll do both attacks. Second attack with advantage is a dirty 20.
Both hit. You just run up and slash. Or
Okay.
Stab, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be okay. 14 damage on the first attack.
Nice.
And 18 on the second
Oh.
for 32 total.
That one's looking like real hurt, like bleeding profusely.
Okay, bonus action, smack with the haft.
All right.
Oh wait, no, I used the bonus action to rage.
Oh,
Never mind.
correct. That'll bring it to the one that you just attacked. It's going to use its first chain attack on Noose.
Disadvantage because I hit it.
Correct. That is a 13 plus 6, 19 to hit. It would have been a natural 20 if it wasn't disadvantage.
Dang.
So yeah, 19 to hit Noose.
You're on mute.
That hits, yes.
Oh, okay.
Indeed. Noose's AC is 15.
You take 13 piercing damage.
Okay.
Reduced to half.
Reduced to
to
half.
6 because
Yep.
resistance.
And I need dexterity saving throw by Noose. 2 can play the necrotic game.
18.
18, does that succeed? That does succeed, so never mind. You get the sense it was going to pump you full of necrotic energy with its chain. So, it's going to swing the chain back at Ash.
Okay.
For a 25 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Going pretty good for these guys. That's 13 piercing damage reduced to half.
Okay.
And I need a dex save as well.
All right. But did my health used to be higher? I feel like it used to be higher. I think something might have happened to it one of these times.
We'll figure it out later.
Because that happens sometimes with this character. 18.
18 succeeds, so never mind.
Yeah.
Third attack,
excellent.
third chain attack, it's gonna go back at Noose with disadvantage. With disadvantage, that's a 12 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
In my notes, Ash, you have 117 max hit points the last time I checked.
Okay, I only have 105 on my character sheet.
Yeah, you should
so
have
yeah,
117.
something happened there. I will fix that. Okay.
That's its turn, bringing it to Baxter.
So you said that there was a cluster of them baddies, correct?
Just 3 total.
Oh, so two
rest
next
of them-
to each other and then one on top of a roof?
Yeah, the rest of them that are in the town are not engaging with you all, and they're just dealing with commoners. There's about 50 total that are just dealing with commoners.
Okay. Then back. Will bonus. Actually, that's not gonna do that. No.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
Hey.
And the stream didn't stop, thankfully. So.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, Baxter will fire at the one that our melee characters cannot hit.
Okay, so the one on the rooftop that Eclipse is fighting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So first attack is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
All right, and that is 10 force damage.
Okay.
Second attack is 29 to hit.
Hits. Just.
And that is nat 1 for the damage roll, so 6 damage.
Okay.
And the third is a 21 to hit.
Hits. All three hit. Just. Eclipse, you whiff with this one. It pulls it out of the way, and as it pulls it out of the way, 3 Eldritch Blasts just slam into its face. Just.
I was a distraction.
And that is 9 damage.
Okay. Anything else?
How close is Baxter to all these guys?
Same as about 30 feet away if you come out the door.
If he sees an area that looks open enough, he's gonna just use all 30 feet of his movement speed to just get as far away from these dudes as possible.
Okay. Sounds good. That'll
So
put
that's-
you kind of like in the doorway of another building if you want to go there.
Yeah, like 60 feet away from him then?
It'd be 30 feet away from you, where you are currently. So 30
Well, you were saying like I was 30 feet away from
yeah,
them.
so
I
60,
would be
60 feet away from the one you just attacked. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent. That's
All
where
right.
he wants to be.
That'll bring it to the one you just attacked. It's going to make 3 chain attacks against Eclipse.
Bring it on.
25 to hit. I keep rolling 19s.
Hit.
14 piercing damage,
Uncanny dodge.
so 7. And I need a dexterity saving throw. These chains are gross.
22.
Oh, that succeeds. So it's going to slash you again with this chain for a 24 to hit.
Hit.
Man. 10 piercing damage,
Okay.
and I need another dex save.
12.
12. You are grappled and restrained as a chain wraps around you.
Okay.
Doesn't say it can't attack again if you're grappled by the chains. It's going to attack with a chain again, just like kind of
Mm-hmm.
pull on it so it cuts into you. And you're restrained, so that's with advantage. Ugh. 15 to hit.
Miss.
It gets caught in your like cat fur. Kind of pulls
Alright.
the fur out a little bit.
Alright.
That'll bring it to Ogden Boone.
Yeah.
Ogden Spoon.
Ogden Boomf runs outside.
Yep, you see all this happen. You see Eclipse get wrapped up and restrained in chains. Henry bamf over to somebody. A woman get cut down that he's protecting. Henry get knocked prone. Ash and Noosh just beating the fuck out of this one.
I'm going to see the one that just restrained
Mm-hmm.
Eclipse.
Yep.
And I am going to connect with him and cast something deep into his mind. I'm going to
Okay.
cast Mind Spike,
Mind Spike. Alright.
which
That's
I think is
intelligence or wisdom?
that's a wisdom.
Okay. Is that considered a charm effect?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so. Let
That's
me double check. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd say you know because if it's not, if it is a charm spell, I'd say you would know not to use it just in case because you know you're elf as well.
Yeah.
But that's a 6.
It's-
That's a 6 for the save anyway.
6. That's a 6. Then yeah, Ogden Boone he sees the situation and then like narrows eyes with him and just digs deep into his mind.
Okay.
Bullet.
Roll damage.
And just gets to that moment where it's just like, oh, everything was bad in this moment for you. Good. 14 psychic damage.
Nice. 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 That one is now looking real bad. It's this like psychic spike just slams into its brain from the inside of its skull, and blood just starts oozing out of its ears, eyes, and nose.
You can't hide anymore.
Ugh. Anything else, Mr. Boone?
Just staring there. Just daring anyone else to come.
Alright. Henry, you're prone in front of this thing. The woman that got attacked, you can hear her breathing still. But her child, and she's clutching her child still tight as she can in her arms, even though she's unconscious.
Okay. Alright. Henry is going to yuck this guy up.
Yuck.
Yeah, he is going to stand up half movement.
Yep.
He's going to stand up with half movement, teleport 15 feet away
Okay.
as a bonus action,
Yep.
and then blast 3 Eldritch Blasts at it from a distance, so no disadvantage.
Correct.
So that is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay.
It just seems annoyed that you're teleporting away. Just
15 to hit.
15 just hits.
Okay.
So
And dirty 20 to hit.
all 3 hit.
Okay.
Does not like you because you can teleport as a bonus action as well.
Oh, can do that too.
Yep.
Oh, that's right, because it's shadow move. Yeah.
Yep.
So that is gonna be low roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17 total damage.
Oh, yeah, he's not looking good. Anything else, Henry?
Yeah. Then second half of movement, move right back where I was standing between it and the woman.
All right, Leah. All 3 of these Shatter Kai are looking real shitty. And you now know they're resistant to necrotic damage.
Yeah. Oh, that's always so fun. Just going pew pew.
Necrotic damage is Leah's stuff.
I know. She loves that little lich slap. Oh.
What are you doing?
They're looking like real shit, right? Like they're
Yeah, they're getting there. They're getting it.
She is going to run. Oh, I don't like this. She is going to get. Oh no, she's within 30 feet.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Fuck it. She's gonna get within 10 feet of it.
Okay.
The one that like fucked up with the kid and the baby.
Okay.
She's getting within 10 feet.
So the one Henry's at.
Yeah. And she's gonna cast poison spray and it has to make a con save.
Okay. All right. Fuck! It was almost a nat 20. 3.
Oh, it fails!
Yeah, rolled a 2 plus 1. So.
Oh, I'm so happy.
So you just run over, and as you're running, you just poison spray out of the staff and just shh.
Oh, bless! I wasn't expecting that. Oh my god.
This
okay.
cloud of just like mushroom toxins, just shh.
That is 29 poison damage.
Oh! You just run over and hit it with this poison spray. It turns and just withers and drops to the ground dead. Just.
Oh, can I? Oh. Would you consider that a humanoid?
Yes, I would.
Would you consider it a small or medium humanoid?
It is medium.
I am going to use as a reaction fungal infestation on this dude.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god, I can finally use this thing! Oh my god!
So it rises as a zombie, correct?
Yeah. With 1 hit point, and it goes right after me.
Okay.
You have a bonus action left?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have any heal? Can you heal this woman? She's dying.
Oh shit, yeah! She was too focused on that thing.
Leah, as you raise this thing as a zombie, the other two that are alive, the one that's got Noose and Ash focused on it, starts like running away. Just pushes Noose off and runs the fuck away. The one on the rooftop unrestrains Eclipse and books it the fuck away. The 3 of you can all get attack for opportunities on the ones that are leaving.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Eclipse,
You're muted.
What'd you get?
28 to hit.
It turns and runs, and you just sink your weapon into its side.
And I didn't get to use my sneak attack.
Yeah, so you get it. You get it right here.
1, 3, 5, 11, 14, 18, 22 plus
It's dead.
6.
All right. It turns to run. You just grab it by the back of the head, pull your sword up, and you just slit its throat, and it drops to the ground. Ash and Noose, attacks of opportunity. Ash, what'd you get?
19.
Hits, roll damage.
That's also what Noose got.
Okay, so both of you roll damage.
I got 7 slashing damage, 5 acid damage, 6 poison damage, and because of this ring. Sorry. 11 necrotic damage.
Has the necrotic damage. It is barely hanging on with 1 hit point.
19.
All right,
Damage.
Ash. It's like turns and runs. It's like something like getting melted out by this whip. You just stab in the air with the Lore Weaver, and it goes right through the back of the skull and out through the forehead.
I like to imagine it's just like that happens, it turns to run, I just hold Lore Weaver at face level.
Oh,
it just turns around and just runs into it.
Yes!
Like a final destination death.
Impaled on the end of it. As the last of these elves drop, you all take a moment to glance around and see Grom and Brom easily dealing with the elves swarming them. A lot of these elves are starting to like scatter and run off. Brom, the gnoll, is now leaping from rooftop to rooftop, firing arrow after arrow Legolas style, and Grom is swinging this massive greatsword with finesse and cutting elf after elf down. From a nearby home that's aflame, you hear a hellish growling and barking as 6 shadowy dog-like creatures start racing towards you, phasing in and out of existence as they bolt forward, being followed by another one of these elves in a hooded cloak that clambers up onto a nearby rooftop and readies a crossbow. Everybody roll initiative again.
Oh no.
Did Leah get to do a bonus action?
Yeah, she did.
On her turn?
Yeah. So yeah, Leah, what were you doing as your bonus action?
I was go heal that woman.
Okay, go for it.
So I think I'm just gonna yeet a little first level healing word that way.
Sure.
So that will be 7 healing.
Okay, she comes to consciousness, and she's prone on the ground, and she just sees what happens, and just stays there because she's just cradling her child out of despair. All right. Eclipse, what'd you get for initiative?
9.
Ooh, Noose.
Natural 1.
Noose got a 23.
All right, you and Ash are side by side. Ash, what'd you get for initiative?
7.
Oh, Ogden Boone.
11.
11. Leah.
16.
You're over with Henry and your newly raised Shadowkai mushroom zombie. And that means your Shadowkai zombie also gets a 16. All right, Henry.
19.
And Baxter.
Baxter got a 13 again.
All right. Noose, you're up. The 6 shadowy hounds are about 40 feet away. The elf is about 30 feet away up on a rooftop riding a crossbow.
Noose can't get to that guy, can he?
No.
Noose can't get to either. I suppose Noose can get within range to those other ones.
They're 40. The dogs are 40 feet away.
Yeah, and he's got a 10-foot reach with that whip. So Noose is gonna, like, pretty much bolt at those things and do an attack on
All right.
the closest one.
All right, all 6 of them are like basically side by side. They're like rushing towards like a pack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going to attack the one in the front.
Okay.
That's a 19 to hit.
19 hits. You just run forward and you hit this shadowy looking dog that has like weird maw and teeth.
All right.
Shadow mastiffs.
Oh boy. That's 7 slashing damage,
Okay.
10 acid damage, 3 poison damage, and 4 necrotic damage.
All right, you rush over and you just hit that one real hard with the whip, and it almost dies.
And then he's going to bonus action. What is it? Yes. He's going to shout. Waiting cheer, no teeth to gnash. Teach them to fear the hummingbird's wash. And he's going to cast spiritual weapon
Okay.
at 2nd level.
All right.
And he's going to attack the one that he just attacked again.
Sure. Yep.
And that's a 19 to hit
Hits.
for 12 force damage.
That Shadow Master just disappears like shadow. The other 5 are right there, snarling.
Yeah, Noose is done. He used his max of everything.
Yep. That'll bring it to Henry.
All right. How far away is the one on the rooftop?
It's actually on the building you're in front of, so it's about 20 feet up.
Oh, perfect. Henry is going to Hexblade's Curse It,
Okay.
and then 3 Eldritch Blasts.
Excellent. Go for it.
Pew, pew, pew. 15 on the first one.
15 just hits.
Okay. That's a 13.
Does not hit. Just ducks as it sails over its head.
And last one is a dirty 20.
That hits. So just
Okay.
at this assassin-looking Shatterkai.
For 28 points of force damage.
Oh, disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else, Henry?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. That'll bring it up to one of these Shadow Mastiffs around Noose. It's just going to go bite Noose for a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. 8 piercing damage, and I need a strength saving throw. As it bites into you, starts shaking you around like a rag doll.
Natural 20.
All right, you are not knocked prone.
Oh boy. Whew.
That brings
Cool.
it to Leah.
She is. There's 5 of them left.
Yeah, and there's the guy on the rooftop right above you.
Roof. Since it worked kind of last time, she's gonna get within 10 feet of the nearest mastiff and just poison spray.
Okay.
Con save.
That'll be the one that just bit Noose. So 11.
Haha, fails!
Again, you just run over up to this mastiff and just spray more poison at this little puppy, this shadow puppy. This evil-looking shadow puppy.
22 poison damage.
Ugh. And it does not seem resistant.
Oh, good, good, good.
It lets out like a little and then turns to you. Disengaging would give the 5 that remain attacks of opportunity on you, by the way.
Yeah, that would be bad. Would I know if Noose has been good, constitution wise, saving against things wise?
I don't know.
I mean, he eats some pretty wicked stuff.
Assume whatever you want to assume.
Okay, she's going to finally use her reaction to use Halo of Spores.
Okay, Halo of Spores.
When a creature you can see moves into space within 10 feet or starts its turn, I can deal 1d8 necrotic damage. And it's a con save. Yes, that's what it is.
I think you need to wild shape to actually have that happen. You need to do a certain wild shape thing. Let me check, because Spore Druid has changed a lot.
That's for spreading spores.
Oh, yeah, you can do that as a reaction at any time. Cool. Alright. Yeah. Just these bunch of spores, these invisible spores sprout out from you.
So on its next turn, it has to make a save.
Yeah, creatures that start their turn there. Yep.
And I guess it's now the zombie's turn.
Yep. There's 1 hit point Shatterkai zombie animated by mushrooms and fungus. Basically a clicker from The Last of Us.
She just kind of turns, looks at it and just kind of and points towards the one in front of her. Is just okay. Attack it.
All right.
So I guess it does a.
It uses a zombie stat block.
Okay, so I guess it does a slam?
A slam, yeah.
A slam.
Yeah, just punches it essentially. Does not have a mouth to moan out of because the mushrooms are kind of manifesting over its face.
Oh, so beautiful.
So it's just
18 to hit.
18 hits.
Come on. 1d6 plus 6, come on. 4 bludgeoning damage.
Reduced to half to 2 because it's not magical.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all it can do.
Alright, that'll bring it to the Shatterkai Assassin. Assassinate's really fun. And it's gonna shoot a crossbow bolt at... It knows that it should target somebody who hasn't done anything yet. So, that will be Ash it's gonna shoot at.
Alright.
So, with its crossbow, how does this work?
Assassins are nasty.
Advantage, because Ash hasn't had a turn yet this combat. 19 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So, and it hits you in the neck, and it's an auto crit because of Assassinate. As this crossbow bolt slams into your neck, but you are raging, so you half most of this anyway.
It doesn't Assassinate only work if you're unaware of the target?
During its first turn, the assassin has advantage on an attack roll against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. Any hit the assassin scores against a surprise... Oh, surprise. Never mind. Just a straight attack roll then. Straight damage. I rolled that wrong earlier then. In another game. No, I didn't. That was a surprise round. That was a surprise round.
Oh, okay.
During another game. I'm talking about something else. 10 piercing damage reduced to half.
Okay.
And I need a Constitution saving throw as you feel poison start to course through your veins.
Oof. Alright.
Assassins are so dirty,
They're
but
so
I love them
great.
as a DM.
That is a 15 on the con save.
15 is the DC, so you take half damage.
Okay.
8, 9, 12, 16. You take 25 poison damage, reduced to half. You take 12 poison damage.
reduced by half again because I'm resistant to poison. I take 6
Oh, correct.
because of the armor.
Damn. That's its turn. Fuck. That brings it to Baxter.
I like to imagine it's like it
Alright.
hits him and it's like the clothes like solidify into the carapace form of the armor.
Tink.
So you said there is a group of enemies.
Yeah, there's 5 of these hounds surrounding Leah, her zombie, and Noose.
Okay. So 6 total enemies.
Yeah, the guy on the rooftop as
Okay. So Baxter will use bonus action hex to hex the one in the middle of all of those
Okay.
hounds.
well. Sure.
So he's gonna bonus action hex that one, and then he's going to hit it with some Eldritch Blasts.
Go for it.
The first one is a 29 to hit.
Hits.
That's 11 plus 6, so that's 6 necrotic damage and 11 force damage.
Okay.
Then he's gonna do the second one. That was a nat 1.
Alright. Into the dirt.
All right.
Or into
Third
the-
one, 25.
Hits.
And that's another, so that's 13 force damage and 6 necrotic damage.
It disappears. Just.
From the hex. Cool. And I guess at the start of my next turn, I'll use my bonus action to move that hex over to a new one. All right. Yeah, Baxter's done.
Alright, that brings it to one of these mastiffs starting in the circle of spores. Con save is a 18. Or sorry, wrong stat block. 17.
That succeeds. So I don't think anything. Yeah, no,
nope.
it's good.
Yep. Cool. It's gonna try to bite Leah. 18 to hit, doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit.
Ogden Boone.
I see a small quorum forming a dog's poker game.
Yep, surrounding
Fair.
Noose and Leah.
Wait, they're they've come around them?
No, but like there's 5 of them all in front. Like the 5 of these.
They're right.
Well, the 4 hounds now are all in front of Noose and Leah.
Okay, I want to go up and support.
And her zombie friend.
Yeah.
I want to go up and support them, and just look at the dog, say, "Bad dog," and cast Forsyth
Okay.
in a cone on all the dogs. I
Okay.
can send you the verbiage of that one.
I have
this
it
is-
right here.
Oh, you're the best. That's awesome.
Know thy spells. Thank you, Sam.
So I'm casting
And-
that at
What level again?
that one I'm going to cast at 4th level, so the 68.
All right. So all these dogs need to make intelligence saves.
Mm-hmm.
They're known for their intelligence. That's a natural 1.
Great.
17 minus 3, so 14.
Yeah, it does not pass.
No, it does not. 13 minus 3, so 10.
Does not pass.
I'm missing one here. And 2. They all fail.
They all take 27 psychic damage.
1 disappears, and the other remaining 3 look real bad, like single digits bad. As this psychic scythe, I imagine.
Yeah, it's any good memory they have is
Yeah.
ripped apart by a scythe.
Yeah. All right.
Like the movie I Heart Huckabees when they hack memories with a machete.
All right. Anything else,
no.
Mr. Boone?
Am I close at all to the fun? Like I look at the spores and I just
They're invisible. You actually can't see the spores. Con save, yeah.
is there actually
You'd
a
have to make a con save, yeah.
really?
I think so. I gotta check the radius on those spores again.
I guess it moves us in.
Yeah,
make a
you're
con
within
save.
you're within 10 feet of Leah. Yeah, con save.
Wear masks, guys. I was not a safe
Please
distance
do.
away.
Wear masks.
Social
I was not a
distancing.
safe.
Dancing.
Leah is the epitome of social distancing.
Oh,
Indy, you have new fan art.
Oh god, everyone else in the party in a mask. That is a 19.
wouldn't
Oh,
be
you're
as
fine.
protective as if
1916.
she wore a mask.
All right, Ogden, you can feel the spores getting into your respiratory system. You're like, what? You probably don't want to be.
Mommy.
You probably don't want to be that close anymore.
Yeah, I'll
Earthy.
Oh wait,
If I-
that would have been your full movement to get up here, actually.
Oh, it would have. Okay, I was
Yeah,
gonna take 5 back, but
unfortunately.
I'll make note of that. Is it the start of a turn to the end of a turn?
Start of a turn.
Start.
Yeah. Invisible spores.
That wasn't the start of my turn.
No, when you enter
Yep.
in the first time, and then when
Yeah.
you start your turn.
Oh, okay. You know what? I didn't even think about the. Yep.
All right.
Got it.
That's your turn then.
That's all for
All right.
your boy, Ogden Boone.
That'll bring it to one of the Shadow Mastiffs. Con save. 3. 2 + 1.
Fails. So he's gonna take 7 necrotic damage.
Oh, it has 6 hit points. It just and then dissipates. That'll bring it to one of the final 2 Mastiffs. Con save. 3 - 1. Or 3 + 1, sorry, 4.
Okay.
5
fails then.
necrotic damage.
Still standing. It's going to retaliate
Fuck!
and try to bite Leah with 1 hit point. Dice jail. It's a 7 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
You know what? It goes to bite at you, and the spores are too much, and it dies. It gives up. Bringing it to Eclipse. Eclipse, you can see the assassin on the rooftop, and you can see 1 dog remaining in this. Well, you don't see the cloud of spores, but you can see 1 dog remaining, and it looks like shit.
Okay. How far away is the assassin?
From you, 40 feet.
Okay. Would I be able to jump from rooftop to rooftop to get to him?
Acrobatics check.
Okay. Very good at those.
Natural
19.
1. Nice.
No.
Yes, you hop over like 3 rooftops, and you get within like, you hop and get onto their rooftop.
Great.
So you always see Eclipse like parkouring over rooftops and just getting onto the rooftop where the assassin is.
Would that have used my action and bonus action?
No, that just would use your movement.
Or, yeah, that one. Then I'm going to attack him
Go for it.
twice.
He's like, huh? And he sees you like sprinting over rooftops, like doing front flips and back flips and cartwheels in the air, and then you land in front of him on the rooftop.
Hello, dear. Short sword.
Natural 1.
No. Justin, shut up. That is a 14, though.
Oh, a 14 does not hit.
No.
Just parries it with his crossbow. Just dunk.
Alright, second attack, bonus
yeah.
action. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits. As you parries it and you just swing the dagger up and catch it just under the ribs.
Yeah. I need to find my D4. Oh, I threw my D6s in here. I'm so stupid.
Prepare your dice. As
I
Caleb
thought they
always
prepared
says.
it and I threw them away because I was being dumb.
Next demystifying DMing video. Prepare your dice. Know your dice.
How to organize your dice.
That was
I
really
don't.
good sneak attack.
I have piles.
I just mine are in a pile.
No, but like they're
17.
all my 6s are here. My favorite
that's
6s
nice.
are in a certain spot.
I got one of these for my birthday.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I just keep mine on this thing.
25, 28 plus
And then I keep my
6
dice
plus
in
5.
my starter set box.
Ooh.
33 points of damage.
33?
33.
Yeah, you run up and just sink the dagger venom under its ribs, and it almost dies. It looks real bad. It's like, ugh! It coughs a bunch of blood up into your face, and then you get stuck and matted in your fur.
Alright. I probably would
just thought of
have
something.
activated the
I need to ask
poison.
this group after the game ends, based on something I just realized.
Okay.
Wait, I have a phone. I can text the group chat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. I'll do it later. Too long to make that joke. Bringing it to Ash.
First turn, alright. What's still alive?
One Mastiff and the guy on the rooftop.
Alright, let's just go yuck up this Mastiff.
Okay.
2 attack, well, 3 attacks.
Are you getting within 10 feet of Leah?
He'd have to, yeah.
Do I with a 10-foot reach weapon?
No. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yes. No. No. Yes?
You'd be within 10 feet of Leah.
Would I? The 10-foot reach weapon, I could attack Leah at 10 feet away, and if the thing is next to you, then I can,
That's
yeah.
right.
Big brain.
Yeah, I can attack into the radius.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
You're fine.
Let's go reckless. Why not? I mean,
Go for it.
Okay, that's 23 to hit first one,
23 hits.
and a crit on the second one.
Hits.
All right. Do I have brutal critical?
It's in single digits.
I want to know how much damage I do. Okay, I critted.
I think you get brutal.
You gotta get that
critical
potential.
You have brutal critical. Yep.
Fuck yeah!
All right. So
So that's triple damage dice
yeah. So first attack
or double damage dice.
is 18 damage on the first attack,
Okay.
and then the second one is, which it's already dead. I know, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
still
like
gonna roll.
you impale it and then you pull it out and it's like about to fall over.
And that crit though is Bobby. 12,
Bobby.
9 is 21, 30, 33 points of damage
yeah.
on that second attack.
They have max 33, so you just like and then I just like pick it up in the air and it just slides down and dissipates. Just
Gross, I love it. And then
it just leaves a dude on the rooftop.
yeah, and then which I can do a bonus action, so that's my turn.
All right. Noose.
How far away is the guy on
Constitution
the
saving
rooftop?
throw.
Okay. How far away is the guy on the rooftop?
20 feet up.
Okay.
Shoot.
Finish him.
Can Noose get to them?
Can you climb?
I don't have a climbing speed, but if it's
You do it half speed then.
So 15.
yeah.
Yeah, but first con save.
Damn it, that was a 14.
That fails.
Okay.
You take 7 necrotic damage.
All right. And Noose is gonna run up to that guy,
Well, make
clamber up there.
Okay, so make me an athletics check to climb first.
Oh. 8.
8. You climb up and you just fall on your butt.
Noose is furious. But he's going to send his spiritual weapon over to see if it can't.
All right, go for it.
His little hummingbird. Hummingbird flies over. Does a 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
For 12 force damage.
Alrighty, he's still standing. Just a hummingbird flies up, stabs him with the beak, and he's just like, "Ugh!" Eclipse is standing right there.
Noose still has an action, correct?
Yeah.
And you said that he was 20 feet away.
20 feet
from
up
the
in
thing.
20 feet up in the air and on the building. Yeah.
Oh, so is he? He's 20 feet above the ground on top of the building.
Yeah.
Okay. Then for his action, Noose will he'll do a Toll to Dead.
Okay.
Ring, ring. Wisdom save.
8.
And that is 15 necrotic damage.
Head explodes and covers Eclipse in more viscera and gore. Just and the headless body drops to the top of this roof, and as that happens, a tremble is heard in the ground, almost like a tremor. Ogden, you see in the nearby fountain impact tremors in the fountain. Soon after, more screams and the sound of a bellowing roar and splintering wood. One of these buildings is reduced to rubble as this massive creature crashes through the flaming ruins. The creature is about 70 feet tall and looks like a demonic amalgamation of a gorilla and a monstrous reptile. It has pale grayish blue skin and tufts of brown fur coating its body. The massive beast just stomps along with 4 sets of fists and 2 mammalian feet. It glares in your direction with its 4 red eyes and rushes towards you all, throwing flaming debris all around it as it bursts forth, with drool cascading off its tangled teeth and tusks. Another one of these elves has been pulling it along with a chained collar, and with a fluid motion, the elf detaches the chain from the collar of the monstrosity and clambers up onto its back and stands on its shoulders with an evil smirk. Grom and Brom clamber out of the ruins of the burning building they were fighting around and atop of, and they both look in your direction and race forward to aid. As Grom races over, he screams out loud, "Brom! They have an Udak! Aid the newcomers!" And that is where we're going to pick up in 2 fucking weeks.
Oh no.
An Udak. 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 But yes.
Udak.
Udak. Thank
York's
you.
nice.
York's nice. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Beneath the Tide, episode 69.
Jeez.
Nice.
Just nice.
Bjork's nice.
Bjork's nice. We'll be back August 12th for the continuation of this, for y'all to fight a big old fucking creature. So, again, thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for playing, you wonderful players. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. And based on what was revealed tonight, finding out who Valkaris is, y'all are gonna level up to level 12.
Yeah.
At the next long rest or right now?
Right now.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't give a
What I
shit.
think.
Obviously, spell preparation stuff cannot happen because you haven't had the time to prepare your spells.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
You guys kept calling them shadow puppies. Isn't Shadow the name of the dog in Homeward Bound?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Shadow, Chance,
Yeah.
and what's the cat's name?
Steve.
Sassy.
Sassy.
Oh my god.
But, good night, everybody. We will see you all in 2 weeks. And please, tune in Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for our Dread one-shot. It was so much fun. And
It really was.